live from the field in Pflugerville, Texas. SHN Sports presentation of Georgetown High School football is on the air. Tonight, the Georgetown Eagles coming in with a record of 6-3, 3-2 in the district, finish off the regular season with a road trip to the Pflugerville Connally Cougars, who come in with a 1-8 record and an 0-5 record in District 11 Division I 5A play. Hello, everyone. Welcome into the broadcast. Brad Tillery here tonight with you, filling in. Nope, nothing. Okay. Oh, I am on. Apologies, folks. We are having some technical difficulties. Then I guess it's going to be a solo thing until we can get this going. For Georgetown, they do come in with that previously mentioned 6-3 record, 3-2 in the district. Georgetown coming off a big 34-14 win last week at home in the finale up in Georgetown. That was over Rouse, and that clinched a playoff spot for the Eagles. In fact, both of these two teams, their last game played was against Rouse. As Connally comes off a bye week, they lost to Rouse 2 weeks ago, 29-14. That game was on the road. Connally comes in losers of 6 straight tonight. Georgetown on the opposite trajectory, having won their last 3 ball games. Right now, Georgetown third in the district. As the district sets up like this, Hutto in first place. They're undefeated right now, 8-0, 5-0 in district play. They will finish off their season tomorrow night. Cedar Park 6-3, 4-1 in district play. Georgetown, aforementioned, at 6-3 and 3-2. Manor with a 4-5 record overall, but 3-2 in the district. Pflugerville, and those 4, by the way, those 4 are locked in to the playoffs. We just don't know what order yet, and we'll talk about that more as we go on tonight. Pflugerville 4-6, 2-4 in district play. 3-6 and 1-4 is Rouse, and then Connally, who the opponent tonight is for Georgetown, 1-8 and 0-5. Connally has struggled so far this year, particularly on the defensive side of the ball, giving up 47 points a game. They have, actually, if you look at their play distribution, have run the ball just about as much as they pass the ball, but only rushing for actually around 40 yards a game. We'll get the specifics here in just a little bit, but really struggling on the ground are the Connally Cougars. So most of their damage this season has come through the air. Georgetown, meanwhile, a very balanced team, as you well know, coming into tonight, averaging 25 points a game on the offensive side. So a chance for Georgetown maybe to really get that offense revved up before heading into the playoffs next week, as a couple of opportunities and actually options are out there heading into playoffs next week. We don't know where Georgetown's going to play. We don't know who they're going to play just yet. It all depends on not only what happens tonight, but what happens around the district over the rest of tonight and tomorrow. So folks, we got a veritable crew of folks up here trying to figure out exactly what's happening when it comes to the issues with our broadcast. Again, we apologize. We understand that some audio may not be working perfectly. We understand some video may not be working right. Kelly, you want to try to see if Kelly still has nothing. No mic working yet. As soon as he can get on, we'll make sure you hear from the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Kelly DeVoll. As the teams right now begin to congregate around their respective tunnels here on the end zone to our right. We're sitting high above the field here, spelled P-F-I-E-L-D, much like Pflugerville. The team's congregating to our right. We're sitting on the 30-yard line high above the field tonight. Connally wearing their black jerseys, black pants, and black helmets, so they're coming out in the dark unis this evening. Georgetown, conversely, in the all-white uniforms with the blue numerals and the silver helmets. Not a huge crowd tonight. It's pretty chilly outside, about 58 degrees. Temperature should stay right in that range most of the night. It's been drizzling a little bit most of the day, actually some heavier rains earlier. And then expecting maybe more rain tonight with some thunder and lightning potentially coming in, but that forecast actually being pushed out further and further away from the 10 o'clock and even 11 o'clock hour. So hopefully we can get this game in with no problems and start looking towards the playoffs in earnest at the end of the night tonight. I know you guys are usually hearing the voice of Rob Hipp right now. Rob will maybe be joining us later. We're not quite sure. He's finishing up some other duties that he has on the SHN Sports Network. So I get my once-a-year jump in here on the Georgetown broadcast, as has been the case for about 3 or 4 seasons now. Getting to do about 1 game a year, which I love coming up and helping out when we can on SHN. Georgetown's got their contingent of fans congregated around the 50 across the way. Not too many folks making the trip down tonight. We mentioned the cold. Connally with a very light crowd on the near side as well. The bands, though, playing back and forth, trying to have a little battle on the opposite end of the field. Wind blowing, it looks like left to right this evening. So it'll be blowing, I believe that's north to south, if I'm not making my mistake here. The scoreboard is on the north end zone as well. Both teams finishing up their final stretches here in the south end zone before officially taking the field through the tunnels. Both locker rooms here on that south end zone as well. This facility absolutely sparkling new, only about a year and a half old now. Beautiful, beautiful place. First time I've had the chance to come visit it, and rivals many of the other local newer facilities that have been built over the last decade or so around here in the Austin area. You're not going to find too many places with this many good football facilities at the high school level in the country in such a short and localized region as Austin, between the between Berkelbach Field up in Georgetown and of course the field here. You got the facilities over at Kelly Reeves and many others in the area that are just spectacular places for high school football. So we are continuing to work through the issues, folks. Brad Tillery once again here with you as we get you set for this ball game. And Georgetown beginning to take the field as they have been welcomed by the PA. Smoke coming out of their tunnel. And you can tell they're starting to jump up, get ready, get moving. Georgetown starting to sway at the goal line. And the Eagles take the field here in Pflugerville for their regular season finale with the Connally Cougars. Crowd up on their feet on the other sideline across the way. Georgetown running out through their cheerleaders and dance teams. Band playing their way down, and Georgetown has taken the field here tonight. In more than one way, I guess you would say, taking the field. And Connally takes the field now on the near sideline. Coming out through smoke as well in their green tunnel with some black trim to it on the all-black unis and the Connally flag being carried out there by Mr. number 35. That is Jeff Ward, the senior, getting to carry the flag here on senior night, I would believe it is, at Connally, or for Connally, in their last home game. For Connally, you know it's their last game of the season. They will not qualify for the playoffs, just one win so far this year. That win coming all the way back on September the 14th when they beat Backstrip 26-16. I mentioned Georgetown's coming in with a 3-game winning streak. All those games, of course, in district play. Starting out the district 0-2 before winning their last 3 and locking up a playoff spot. Once we get all the technical stuff figured out here, we will bring in Kelly DeVoll, and I'll let Kelly explain all the playoff possibilities to you because there's more than I could try to figure out right now. Waiting for the captains to take the field for the coin toss here, as both teams have officially taken the sidelines. Wind probably blowing around 10 miles an hour tonight, as the flags out in the north end zone are relatively stiff. And we might be stepping aside here as well after the... I apologize. We're still waiting for the captains. Now they have been signaled to come down the 50 for the coin toss. This Connally team, it looks like we have a choir. Okay, so we'll have the national anthem here too after the coin toss. My apologies. This Connally team we've mentioned really struggled this year, specifically on the offensive or the defensive side of the ball. And when you look at their roster in particular, you can kind of see why. They only have, as Kelly pointed out to me before the game, only one player over 6 foot tall on the Connally roster. They do have a couple of players right at 6 feet tall, but not a whole lot of size when you look at it. Even their starting quarterback, just 5'7", Darius McGrew. Makes it a little hard to see over the lines when you play that. So Connally, a team that has had success moving the ball, but when they do, it's through the air. So that's what I would expect to see out of them tonight. If they're going to have success on the offensive side of the ball, it will be definitely through the air. Georgetown and Connally facing each other at the 50, waiting for the coin toss. Call is tails for Georgetown. Tails it is. Georgetown has won the toss and deferred. Connally will receive the ball. And it appears that they will continue on the way. So Connally will go south to north. That's right to left here from our side. And Georgetown will do quite the opposite in the first quarter of play. Well, we are going to pause for just a second, step aside. National anthem about to be played outside. And when we're back, we'll have kickoff here between Connally and Georgetown on the season finale here on SHN Sports. National anthem has been played as we are set to play some football here tonight in Pflugerville between the Georgetown Eagles and the Connally Cougars. Don't forget, folks, this Georgetown Eagle football broadcast presented by our friends at Oak Ridge Disciple House. The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based Christian character building ministry that helps men 18 and older overcome substance abuse addiction through a well-planned and structured program. If you or someone you know is struggling to overcome their addiction to the Oak Ridge Disciple House can help. Please visit them online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Thank you to our friend Joshua Harris and the Oak Ridge Disciple House for your generous support of Georgetown Eagle football on SHN Sports. I want to make sure we also talk about some other of our big sponsors here as we get along and get ready for this ball game here tonight. Georgetown Jewelry, football on SHN Sports, brought to you by our friends at in part by Ricky Poe, owner of Georgetown Jewelry. Georgetown Jewelry specializes in custom jewelry, bridal watches, repairs, appraisals, and are buyers of gold, silver, coins, and more. Georgetown Jewelry since 2013. Drop by the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown or visit them online at georgetownjewelry.com. Well, the Eagles will tee it up at the 40, kicking left to right here in the eteachingme.com first quarter. Hand is up. Diaz puts the boot to the leather. We are underway. And then end over end kick. That will be called back. Looks like we're going to have an offsides. Or the ball was never made play. So this first quarter action brought to you by eteachingme.com. eTeachingMe provides educational services for all children, parents, and educators to help in developing a successful foundation for learning. Visit eTeachingMe online at eteachingme.com. Matt Diaz once again teeing this one up. Ball was never put ready for play here in the first one, so we're going to try it all over. Backs up 3 yards. 2 steps to his left, Diaz. And we'll do it again. Another end-over-end kick. This one at the 25. Fielded by Diamante Francois. He'll bring it back to his left at the 30. Broken one tackle, not another one. Taken down by Gage Leggett at the 30-yard line. So that's where Connally will put the ball in play. 1st and 10. Five-yard return there for Francois. The all-black jerseys and black helmets of Connally take the field at the 30, moving right to left here in the first quarter, just underway at the field in Pflugerville between Connally and the Georgetown Eagles. Taking the snaps, looks like Justin Santos, the freshman. He'll drop back, throw out, behind the line of scrimmage. They can throw this. Now a halfback pass down the field, caught at the 40. And then taken down inside Georgetown territory at the 30. Pass complete to Bobby Hancock. It was Demetrius Gardner making the throw on the halfback pass. That's a 40-yard gain on first down.
40 yards on the completion and a first down.
Quickly, Connally with some trickeration in Georgetown territory. Nice play to come out when you got nothing to lose on the first play of the game, really. To Crenshaw, he breaks one tackle, fumble at the 21, and recovered by Georgetown inside the 20 at their own 19, stopping the drive. Fumble recovered there by Jonathan Knight, the safety, coming up to make the play, and Georgetown will take over at their own 19-yard line. This play by the defense after giving up the halfback pass to make sure they get off the field. They're actually going to spot this thing at the 21. I thought that ball may have bounced inside the 20 when it fell on it. Instead, they're going to mark it at the spot of the fumble, it appears. So Georgetown takes over at their own 21. There's Jackson Siosin in the shotgun, leading his offense out there. 3 wide receivers to the near side, 1 up on the far to his left. He's got a runner in the backfield as well. Cross the motion goes Leggett. And throw out complete. That's Coleman, I apologize, and he will pick up a first down with a 10-yard gain. Going across the formation and then veering out right to left. Pass to Coleman, complete first down. Siosin, good game last week, combining for 4 touchdowns with Jackson Siosin, 2 in the air, 2 on the ground. Pistol formation here. Looks like Xavier Torres in the backfield. Torres takes the handoff there, throw out, complete. That is to, I can't tell, I apologize, number 11. Folks, we are going to try to test a microphone here real quick, so let's see. I don't necessarily hear you, but let's see. Can we hear it through the feed? This might take, we're not over there. Okay, so we're still recording, folks. We apologize. We know the game is being recorded right now, so if you can't hear us right now, we know it's going to be there. Audio is showing up. Okay, so hopefully you can hear the dulcet tones of Mr. Kelly DeVoll over here as we continue to go. It's going to be 1st and 10 Georgetown. They've got the ball spotted just outside the 10-yard line, so it is possible for a first down here. I would believe. They don't have the markers up, though, saying it would be for the chains. Interesting. Now they're set. 3 wide receivers set. Now coming back into the formation is Drum. He'll float to his right. Siosin makes a man miss. Floats one to the end zone. Out of play and back to the end zone. Looked like he was looking for Torres there. Actually, that's not Torres. My apologies. That's number 31. Chris Martinez coming out of the backfield. So it's 2nd down and 10 now for Georgetown. 3 wide receivers set to the left. Nobody on the near side. They've got Martinez set up on the tight end on the near side. Handoff to, nope. Siosin keeps it away from Torres. Makes a man miss inside the 5. Drags the tackler with him. Dives for the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown, Georgetown. 10-yard touchdown run from Jackson Siosin. Dragging a defender with him. And the Eagles have the early lead here with 9:10 to go in the first quarter. Extra point on the way. Matt Diaz lining up, kick it. I think I just heard you come through there a second ago on the broadcast. as his kick is up, and the extra point is good. 7-0. Georgetown leads with 9:10 to go in the first quarter. Kelly, I think I heard you there. We're going to see if we're going to act like we heard you. We're going to test here for a second. Kelly's listening to the broadcast, and we apologize. This is always on a delay for a second, folks. But I think we've got his mic working. If so, we'll be able to have Kelly come in here and offer his thoughts on that first drive. Georgetown with a very nice drive after they go 79 yards there on that march. Still no, unfortunately, still can't get Kelly's microphone up running completely. So 7-0 your score. Georgetown on top of Connally here in the eteachingme.com first quarter. This broadcast on HSN Sports. As always, Georgetown football brought to you by our friends, presented by Oak Ridge Disciple House. Georgetown will tee it up at the 40, getting ready to kick away again here for the second time tonight. 2 minutes, 50 seconds have elapsed in this ball game. The Eagles already with a 7-0 lead. Diaz kicks it away towards the near sideline. End over and kick fielded at the 30. It's a fair catch, and that is where the ball will be taken. A catch there made by number 23, Dyson McGrew. Listed as an 8th grader on the roster. It's, young man gets some play time here. So a loaded backfield, 2 runners in the backfield there. Also 2 receivers at the top of the formation, 1 on the near side. Darius McGrew rather, swings it out to the far side and complete. To the races, Deontay Francois, and he picks up 9 on the play, it appears, just short of a first down. Jonathan Neitch able to make the stop just shy of the marker. Maybe second in inches here for Connally. McGrew lines up 4 yards in the shotgun formation again. Turns around, hands this one off up the middle to Demetrius Gardner. Gardner picks up just enough for a first down. I apologize, that was Menendez, they say. Lance Menendez, number 22. Lance Menendez gets the pick. First down here.
Center for the Cougars tonight, number 67, Menendez.
40-yard line is where they will spot the ball. Connally comes the ball in their own territory. 7-0 Georgetown leads, 8:30 to go in the first quarter. Georgetown sets up in a 3-3, kind of a dime formation. Back to pass McGrew. He fires one near the left side. Floating ball. We got a man open and dropped at the 35 of Georgetown. Dyson McGrew was wide open there and just simply dropped the ball as it came down from the heavens towards him. That might have been a brother-to-brother pass there, McGrew to McGrew. So second down now, 10 to go for Connally. Cougars have moved the ball a little bit through the air tonight so far. A couple of opportunities for big plays. This one swung out to Dyson McGrew. Nice play there defensively as the ball could not be reeled in. That was Gage Leggett getting his hand in there to break up the timing of that swing pass to the near side. And it's 3rd and 10. You can hear the Georgetown band and fans going across the way. Get the music going. 3rd and 10. Connally needs midfield for a new set of downs. Takes the handoff, looking for a slight pass over the middle. Got it, and then drop. Ball is loose. Officials will blow it dead. Intended there for number 8, Jade Barron. He was open, just couldn't complete the catch. He had the ball in his hands. It would have been a first down. Play broken up by the defense, and 3 and out there for Connally. Georgetown getting away with a couple of plays. A couple of balls that were quite honestly dropped by Connally could have been first downs. Seven 0 your score. Georgetown leads. See who that is back for the punt. Connally gets set to punt this one away. Georgetown bringing heat. They almost got it. That ball's going to roll at the 40, and it's going to take a nice Connally bounce inside the 35 and down at the Georgetown 33. That looked like Gage Leggett almost got in there and got his hand on that ball on the punt. Instead, should net a bounce. 25, 30 yards, or about 28 to 30 yards for Connally, if I got my yard marker of math right, but nobody accused me of being a math major. 7:56 to go. Georgetown will get the ball for the second time tonight at their own 32. They will set a 4 wide receiver set to start this drive off. 3 on the near side, 1 man up top by his lonesome. Also a runner in the backfield. It looks to be Torres. Jackson Siosin sets up in the pistol. Takes a step up to make an adjustment with his center, does Siosin. Now asks Torres to step to him, hands the ball to Torres up the middle, and that ball, that rather does not go far. That was Marino, I apologize. Only a yard for Marino. 2nd and 9 now. So RJ Marino getting some more playing time tonight. Marino stays in the backfield again in that pistol formation. The lone receiver on the near side. Looks to be Isaiah Fillmore. Going out to the far side. That ball complete. Up to the 40, down to the 45, up across midfield. Take it down inside Connally territory. To the 48 is Corey Coleman. Nice gain there on the swing pass to the outside. Pick up a 20 and a first down for Georgetown as they march right back into Connally territory.
He had 19 yards on the reception. And first down.
So Fillmore at the top of the formation in the wide receiver set. Noah Drum on the near side here. Handoff around right end and met immediately at the line of scrimmage is RJ Moreno. Pick up about a yard. Nice play there by Caleb Green to read the read option and stay with it on the defensive end position. They're going to give him 2 on the play, so it'll be 2nd and 8. Xavier Torres checks into the game. Javonte Roden as well. 3 men in the backfield with Siosin, and have a flag here. It looked like Connally jumped off. The left end and the left defensive tackle both jumped at the same time, and that's when the right tackle for Georgetown moved. It will be offside. Zane Haas jumped after the defenders came his way, so a 5-yard pickup on the penalty for Georgetown, and it is 2nd and 3 now for the Eagles. 2 men next to Siosin, another one behind him in this full house package look at the backfield. Snap, handoff left side, that is Marino. He's got a hole, tripped up, and whoop! That little trip just stopped him from taking off. He's going to pick up about 13 on the play and a first down as he's taken down at the 28-yard line. But man, oh man, he was about 1 step away from taking it to the house. So 1st and 10, Georgetown from the 28 of Connally. Stacked receivers on the far side, 1 man on the near side. Big formation on the line of scrimmage for Georgetown here. Rolling out to his right, Siosin. He's going to look back left. He's got a man wide open and slightly overthrown at the 10-yard line was Chris Martinez. Coming off that tight end position across the formation. Siosin really had it kind of fooled. It was a throwback pass across the formation, moving right, throwing back to his left, and just slightly overthrew Martinez enough to where he couldn't make the grab. So it's 2nd and 10 now from the 28 for the Eagles with 5:33 to go in the first quarter. Siosin takes the snap, fires over the middle, caught at the 20-yard line. That is Corey Coleman with a reception and an 8-yard pickup to make it 3rd and 2 for Georgetown. Looks like we might have some of the technical stuff working again. We apologize. We're still trying to figure some things out. I know we got some help on the way and help on the phone, so we'll get it all figured out here in just a second. 3rd and 2, pistol formation here for Georgetown with 3 receivers in the set. Going across the formation, Martinez to the left side in that tight end spot. They're going to run it. Nope, fake the run left side. They did hand it off. I apologize. That's Torres making a man miss across the 10. Bowls a man over at the 8. That was a good fake by Siosin because I was swearing he was rolling out by that ball by himself. Instead, Torres able to pick up about 14 on the play. Or excuse me, 12 on the play. It's 1st and goal now for Georgetown at the Connally 8-yard line with 4:46 to go. Siosin takes the snap, fakes to Torres, fires right side, complete at the 5-yard line. Take it down there. And coming up a little hurt, a little slowly, but he's going to jump back up is Cade Lachlan. 3-yard gain for Georgetown brings up 2nd down. Diamante Francois with the tackle there. Clock still running at 4:30 to go now in the 1st quarter. Bunch formation here for Georgetown. Old school I formation, actually. Across the formation. And a little pitch out. That ball is going to be fumbled back at the 11. And Xavier Torres falls on it at the 16-yard line to save the possession for Georgetown. Nice play there by Connally to break up. It was going to be a pitch to the left side. And it looked like Torres was going to be able to walk in. But the defense for Connally was able to wreck the timing. Siosin's pitch wasn't able to be completed because, quite frankly, Connally was in the backfield before he could get rid of the ball. So here comes 3rd and goal now from the 16. Georgetown having trouble with some substitutions. Coming on late is Cade Lachlan. Now a 3-receiver set to the left side. 1 on the near side as well. They need the end zone. Siosin dropped back to pass. Fires over the middle. Got a man just out of his reach. Slightly overthrowing Noah Drum in the end zone, and it is 4th down for Georgetown. That's going to bring on the field goal unit. The drive stalls out after getting as deep as the 5-yard line for the Eagles here with 3:29 to go in the 1st quarter. 7-0, trying to expand on the lead. Here's Matt Diaz to try the 32-yard field goal from almost right in the middle of the field. Snap, back, hold down. Kick is up. It's end over end. It has enough distance, and it is good. Diaz with a 32-yard boot, and the Eagles lead it 10-0. 3:23 to go now in the 1st quarter. Tell you what, folks, just a reminder that our friends at Minutemen Press in Georgetown, as they are a proud supporter of Georgetown Eagle and Eastview Patriot football here on SHN Sports. For all your design, printing, and promotional needs, Minutemen Press is your one-stop shop for all your marketing products and services. Minutemen Press can be found online at www.mmptx.com. That's www.mmptx.com. Thank you to Ty Gibson and Minutemen Press for your generous support in helping making these broadcasts possible. Don't forget, folks, as well, this 1st quarter brought to you by our friends once again over at eteachingme.com. As they always are, this eTeachingMe provides educational services for all children, parents, and educators to help in developing a successful foundation for learning. Visit eTeachingMe online at eteachingme.com. 10-0 your score. Eagles lead over the Cougars on this season finale Thursday night action here at the field in Pflugerville. I say season finale for the regular season. It will be the season finale overall for Connally. Georgetown's guaranteed a game next week. We just don't know where. Could be up in Georgetown, could be on the road. Diaz sets up to kick. End over end kick towards the near sideline. It'll be fielded return at the 28, across the 30 and take it down at the 34. Stephen Crenshaw pushed out of bounds. Connally, though, will have decent field position to start here with 3:20 left in the first quarter. Connally takes the field for the third time tonight now. Looks like they're going to bring Justin Santos back to play quarterback this drive. He started the game but sat out in the second drive. Stephen Crenshaw flares out to the left. Instead, they hand it off up the middle. That appears to be McAnthony Everest. I apologize, that's Demetrius Gardner with the carry. Noah Thompson with the tackle there for Georgetown. Gardner picks up 3 on the play, so 2nd down and 7 for Connally from the near hash mark at their own 37. Stacked tailbacks in the backfield for Connally here. Fakes the handoff, back to pass. Santos being chased out of the pocket, throws one and almost intercepted there. Draw was into the hands of Gardner, the running back. Big pressure there from Georgetown on the defensive side, chasing Santos out of the pocket to the near sideline, having to throw against his body. Ball was tipped up after Gardner wasn't able to catch the ball, and Georgetown nearly got to it. 10-0 your score, by the way, here, as we move along with 2:41 to go in the first quarter. 3 receivers set to the top of the formation for Connally, 1 on the near side, a man in the backfield. They fake the handoff, throw across the middle. It's too deep, and oh my goodness, almost intercepted again. That ball was in the hands of Gage Leggett, and he just couldn't come down with it at his own 45. Kind of smacked his hands, clapping them together there after he had it. Slightly out of his reach, but he had it in his hands. His outstretched arms and just couldn't reel it in. So instead, it's another 3 and out for Connally, their second 1 in 3 drives. Georgetown sets up for the punt return to Cade Lachlan, and that ball is going to bounce out of bounds on the near sideline. Lachlan was never even given a chance. Ball bounces out at the 35 of Georgetown, so a net punt of 28 yards there for Connally. 10-0 Georgetown leads, 2:30 to go in the first quarter. Georgetown has scored on both of their first 2 drives of the night. An 11-yard touchdown run by Jackson Siosin, and a 32-yard field goal converted from Matt Diaz. Siosin leads his offense back onto the field. Georgetown with 3 players in the formation in the backfield with Siosin. A runner on each side and 1 behind him. Now out of the formation, flares R.J. Marino. They're going to student body left this, pitch back this one to Torres. Around the corner he goes and pushed out of bounds at the 40-yard line as Xavier Torres. Pick up of about 4. Sorry, come at me again, bud. I cannot still hear you in my headsets. 2nd and 6 here.
I started hearing you a little bit.
Trying to make it to work out here, guys. We apologize. We're having technical difficulties trying to make sure we get Mr. Kelly DeVoll in the broadcast with us. It's 2nd and 6 here from the 39 for Georgetown, their own 39 at that. Pistol formation, handoff to Marino, and he is met at the line of scrimmage. That was Torres, I apologize. McKinley makes the tackle. He's in good position there. It is going to be 3rd and about 5 here. Tell you what, Torres came up hurting a little bit. He got hit right in the midsection on that tackle.
No,
3rd and 5.
We got live video.
3 receivers to the far side, 1 on the near. Siosin with a man to his left as well. He'll fake the handoff, throw to the far side. Ooh, incomplete. Ball was intended for Isaiah Fillmore and broken up by Harrison McKinley. McKinley actually had that ball kind of in his hands for a second, able to knock it away from Fillmore. So it is a 3-and-out for Georgetown. Their first time they're going to punt tonight. 10-0 the score, 1:05 to go in the first quarter. Georgetown leads over Connally. Elijah Clough will punt this one away for Georgetown. Diamante Francois deep for Connally. Nice kick there by Clough. Francois fields at his own 25. Takes it back up across the 30 and out to about the 33-yard line. So an 8-yard return for Francois. They're going to mark him down officially at the 34. So credit him with 9 yards. 10-0. Georgetown leads. Connally with the ball at their own 34. Connally's gone 3-and-out their last 2 times with the rock. Looks like Connally is switching quarterbacks every drive. Here's Darius McGrew. He quarterbacked that second drive of the game. Spins around, throws one out to the far side. That's complete to Diamante Francois. He's across the 40 and gang tackled down at the 41. Nice first down play there for Connally, though, on the flare pass. Pickup of 7, so it'll be 2nd and 3. Kelly DeVoll went mute on me tonight. He heard I had to hit a broadcast with me, so he decided to make sure the equipment didn't work. Second and 3 here for Connally. The clock winds down here in the first quarter. Fake handoff, throw across the middle. That's complete to Francois. He's across the 50 to the 45, makes a man miss, and backpedals out to about the 46. A pickup of about 14 for Francois. First down for Connally. Second time they've penetrated Georgetown territory tonight, and that will be the end of the first quarter. 10-0 Georgetown on top of Connally after 1 quarter of play here on SHN Sports. Brad Tillery here with you doing the play-by-play. Kelly DeVoll will silently doing color tonight so far as we work on the broadcast.
Probably better.
As we work on the technical issues. Nathan Height, Dave England over here working hard trying to fix everything for us. Dave's working our camera. Nathan's furiously handling the technical side. I believe we got Mr. Rob Hipp now. His previous engagements are completed for the night. He's on his way to come help us out a little bit too. As we promise you, we're going to get this fixed here by the end of the night. Folks, just a reminder that Georgetown Interstate Transmission and Auto Repair supports Georgetown Eagle and Eastview Patriot football in Georgetown. For general maintenance and automotive repairs performed by ASE certified techs, drop by Georgetown Interstate Transmission and Auto Repair next to Mel's Lone Star Lanes. You can visit them online at georgetownautorepair.com. Thank you, Joe Bob, with Georgetown Interstate Transmission and Auto Repair for your generous support of high school football in Georgetown. Connally puts it in play here, first and 10 from the Georgetown 46. Fake handoff from McGrew. He'll fire. A high floating pass down the near sideline, incomplete. That ball was intended for his brother, Dyson McGrew, 2nd and 10. This second quarter here for Georgetown football, brought to you by our friends at Courtney Home Inspections. Second and 10 from the Georgetown 46 is where Connally puts it in play. 2 receivers on each side of the formation. Flaring out to left now also goes a running back. This ball's thrown to the near side. Francois makes a man miss, breaks out of a tackle across the 40, leaps over a man at the 38 and across and pushed out of bounds at the 32-yard line. Francois, whew, he's got some moves. A pickup of 14 and a first down.
Had some success in the passing game.
Francois looked like he may have lost his helmet on that last play, but he is still out on the field. Francois literally hurdled somebody on that last play there. Menendez stays on the field at the running back position. Throwback to pass, McGrew. He's going to float one left side towards the end zone and dropped in the end zone. That was a touchdown waiting to happen for Connally. Ball was intended for Jahdae Barron, and that ball was put right in the breadbasket. He just couldn't come down with it. (10-0) Georgetown lead just starting here in the Courtney Home Inspection second quarter. Two receivers on the far side, one on the near. It's Francois on the near side. They're looking like they're going to double cover him now. McGrew floats one far side, again intended for Jahdae Barron on a little screen play, trying to bubble screen. Ball was overthrown, and it's now 3rd and 10 for Connally. And Connally, I'll tell you what, for sure they're moving the ball better through the air than they are on the ground, but they seem to be more effective as a team with McGrew in the backfield playing quarterback than they do with Justin Santos, who's played a couple of drives as well so far tonight.
More accurate passer. Stays in the pocket a little bit longer.
We'll try to get real close to each other just in case.
We can do that.
3rd and 10 here, fake the handoff, a little pump fake there. Now a go route to the far sideline, incomplete double covered there by Georgetown. McAnthony Everest was the intended receiver. Nowhere to go with that ball, though. It looked like McGrew never came off his first read. That was a pump and go type play. No man's land here for Connally, so they're going to go for it on 4th down from the Georgetown 32. They need 10 for a new set of downs. Four receivers set. Francois, the lone one on the near sideline. McGrew fakes the handoff. They look for Francois quickly, and just thrown slightly behind him. Ball could not be brought in, and that will be the end of the drive for Connally. Ball was thrown slightly behind Francois. Had to reach back for it, and that was otherwise open in that little zone right there that he found a pocket between a couple of defenders. So Georgetown gets the ball for the first time here in the second quarter, putting it in play at their own 32, up by 10. Siosin in the pistol formation, faking the run. This is an RPO there for Georgetown, and a complete pass, 3-yard gain on the pickup. That was to Cade Lachlan over to the right side. Over the last couple of years, throughout all levels of football, you're seeing more and more of that RPO action. And there you saw it from Georgetown. You could tell, if never really had a chance to understand what's going on. Watch the offensive line. If they shoot off in a run play, but you end up passing it, that's what you're looking for in an RPO. Typically, if a pass play line will take a step or two backpedaling, and a run play, they shoot off the blocks. This one, a sweep to the right side, and taken down from behind there is Javonte Roden. Roden picks up only about a yard. Rodan, I apologize. To the far side, sweep on the far side there. So Rodan only picks up a yard. It'll be 3rd and 6 for Georgetown from the far sideline. Well, since Mr. DeVoll's headset's not working, he's going to try to spot here for me. I appreciate it. It's tough when you only see them once a year, right? Siosin drops back to pass. He's going to scramble out up the middle, makes a man miss, carrying a couple of defenders with him, and that's going to be enough for a first down. A bullish run for Jackson Siosin up to the 43-yard line, a gain of 7. Couple of runs there by Siosin so far tonight. The touchdown run in the first, and that one right there, both times carrying defenders with him to get that extra yardage. 3 receivers near side, one on the far side. Siosin flares one out. That ball is caught. Up the field goes Coleman. And Coleman will be taken down at the 42 of Connally after making a couple of men miss, getting some good blocks. Going to be a pickup of about 18 in a first down. Ball at the 42 now of Connally. Georgetown driving again. Third time they have entered Connally territory tonight. It's Marino in the backfield. Siosin rolls left, looking downfield, floats one that way, and just intended for Noah Drum, and ball was just out of the reach of the Connally defender. Keith Williams with a heck of a play to reach out and break that one up because Drum was behind the defense, and that ball was floating right to him. Instead, he gets a hand on it, and it's 2nd and 10. Pistol formation here for Georgetown. That's Cade Lachlan going across the formation. This is Marino around the right side and taken down at the 39. RJ Marino picking up about 3 on the play. And that sets up 3rd and 7 for the second time this drive. Georgetown holding up 4 different play cards on the other side. I don't know how you can tell which one to look at. I'd be confused. I get confused with basic math, so I couldn't even imagine that one. Here's 3rd and 7. Fake handoff. Siosin back pedals. Looking for a receiver. Everybody's pretty much covered, and the throw incomplete. Just out of the reach for Noah Drum. Drum was open by about a yard or 2. Coverage was pretty good on that play overall over Connally. Nice. Also a really good job by the offensive line for Georgetown to give Siosin plenty of time to survey the field. It's 4th and 7. Georgetown's going to set up like they're going to go for this, although the folks here in the booth say pooch kick. And that's exactly what it's going to be. Nice end-over-end pop kick from Siosin. That ball's going to bounce and take a nice Georgetown roll inside the 10 and settle in around the 7. It's like these guys have sit here and watch Georgetown football all year telling me they're going to pooch kick it. 32-yard punt for Siosin, but more importantly, ball inside the 10 at the 7 as the defense for Georgetown gets set up nicely. 10-0. Georgetown leads, 8:14 to go here in the Courtney Home Inspection second quarter. Connally switching quarterbacks again. Here's Justin Santos. They are truly doing a one-drive apiece play. This is a handoff up the middle, and a nice run there by Connally to Demetrius Gardner. Took the handoff and picks up about 7 on the play. So it'll be 2nd and 3. Jack Schneeman with the tackle. Second and 3 here for Connally. 2 men in the backfield. Handoff again to Gardner. This time around the left side. Makes a man miss across the 20 to the 25. Carried the defenders with him across the 30. And finally brought down. Oh, no, he's still getting pushed by his offense. They will finally blow this play dead at the 34. A pickup of 20 for Gardner. This is a team that comes in averaging about 37 yards a game on the ground. And that's a 20-yard pickup right there. And timeout now called by Georgetown. I don't think the coaching staff's very happy right now with that one.
That's a coach about to get somebody in earful on defense.
Pregame Insurance Group, located in Central Texas, is an insurance provider servicing clients in all 50 states. Pregame Insurance Group is designed to fit your insurance needs and help you manage potential risk. Offering a wide variety of insurance products for your business and personal needs, Pregame Insurance Group has you covered. For more information, visit them online at www.pigbcs.com. Thank you to Doug Groves and Pregame Insurance Group for sponsoring Georgetown Eagle football on SHN Sports.
Coach Pat down there getting in their ears.
Coach Pat getting in the players' ears a little bit, as Mr. DeVoll says next to me. Give up a 20-yard run. That's going to cost you a timeout here in the first quarter, first half. It's used as a teaching spot. 1st and 10, Cougars at the 35 in their own territory. They're going to hand it off to Gardner again, this time up the middle, and picks up about 3. Georgetown plugging that one up a little better here in the Courtney home inspection second quarter. 7:13 to go. 10-0 Georgetown on top. You can hear the coaching staff next to us in the booth, not too happy right now, telling one of their players to get outside for leverage. Just a little pass near side, complete to Francois, but whew, he is gang tackled at the 43. A short gain for Diamante Francois. That's going to bring up 3rd and a long 2. You can tell the coaching staff, if you just listen to them, this is the one person that sounds like they're really concerned about on offense is Diamante Francois. And they put Gage Leggett on him for most of the night. This time, though, lined up across, it appears to be John Miranda. Fake the handoff, throw out to Francois, far side, almost picked off, but I think the hand got in there to distract him just enough. That was Leggett nearly getting the hand in there for the interception. Miranda as well in there on the play. Ball was intended for Francois, and it got over the hands of Miranda and Leggett, but I think the distraction was just enough to cause the drop. So 4th and 2 now for Connally. They're going to line up to punt this one away at their own 43. Cade Lachlan waves it off as the ball bounces at the 18. It's going to roll inside the 15 and out of bounds, marked officially at the 13 for Georgetown. So Connally really on their punt game doing a pretty good job of punting the ball away from Georgetown, not giving chances at returns, just take your 30, 35 yards and move on.
Yeah, they're not giving those deep guys a chance to get their hands on the football.
Another good point over here, Dave England just made it. Connally just flipped the field, even with that drive and the punt. Remember, they started that drive on their own 7-yard line. Here, Georgetown puts it in play on their own 13. Handoff, this one up the middle. That goes to Torres. He'll take it across the 15 all the way to the 16. So 3 yards in a cloud of dust kind of play. Although I don't know how much dust you're going to get on an artificial surface. Especially on a cold 60-degree or 55-degree night or whatever it is out there now. A clouded ground tire. I like it. 2nd and 7 here for Georgetown. 2 men in the backfield with Siosin. Snap back, Siosin flings one out, far side, real quick, complete. That's not going anywhere. Ball was tossed out to Noah Drum, and he was tackled immediately. Pickup of about 1. Georgetown for 3rd and 5. Tackle made by Harrison McKinley there on that last play for Connally. Tell you what, Georgetown came out moving the ball well the first couple of drives, but the offense has stagnated a bit here over the last, I'd say, full quarter. 5:05 to go now in the first half. 3 receivers near side for Siosin to work with, and 1 on the far. Siosin looking near side. Pressure coming, and the ball is tipped up, incomplete, intended for Isaiah Fillmore. Diamante Francois with the pass breakup, and it might have gotten there a smidge early, but the yellow hankies will stay in the pockets. 4th down now for Georgetown. They're going to have to punt it away again.
Yeah. Connally's got confidence.
Connolly's, I'll tell you what, last game of the season, they're kind of letting it all hang out here, especially on the defensive side. At that first drive or two, Georgetown kind of picked it up, but really I think what has changed the flow of the game offensively for Georgetown is this punt will be an end-over-end kick, far side. Looked like the punter may have slipped and fallen there. Elijah Clough, as he kicked it away, kind of lost his balance, and the ball bounces away, out of bounds rather, at the 44. So Connally will be in positive territory starting this drive. But really, I think what flipped this game for Connally was when Georgetown had the ball at Connally's 5 going in for a touchdown, and that sack fumble where Georgetown lost about 13 yards and really had to settle for a field goal. Since then, Connally's defense has played some really good football.
Yeah, they made a slight change and moved their DBs up closer. They're playing tighter on that man coverage. So quick passes that they usually hit, and it's changed Georgetown's approach on their passing game.
There's a run over the left side and stopped short there. Lands Mendez, I believe. I think your mic's finally working, my friend.
Mine?
I see it gauging over there.
I don't know. Can you hear me?
I can't, but I see it working over there.
Can you hear me on there?
Hey! Everybody, welcome Kelly DeVoll to the broadcast.
It's good to be here.
2nd and 8 here for Connally.
A microphone in my face and can't talk. Horrible.
Back to pass is McGrew getting chased out. He finds a man near side, making a man miss. That is Dyson McGrew, his brother, going across the formation now and all the way down to the 35-yard line. A scramble out to the right for Darius McGrew, finding his brother Dyson, and Dyson picks up 9 on the play. It's 3rd and 1.
Yeah, it's a rare missed tackle there by Gage Leggett out on the corner. Had him stopped for a short gain, but Gage wasn't able to bring him to the ground. 3rd and 1.
Well, the good thing, folks, is we got a lot to talk about at halftime because we got a bunch to catch up on here with Mr. DeVoll.
Yay. It's good to be back.
Georgetown bringing the blitz. This is a quick pass near side. Incomplete. Ball is intended for McAnthony Everest. Connally had the numbers on that one if they could have completed it.
I think Georgetown hasn't been expecting Connally to have the success running the football. So I think they were camping a little bit on the passing game. So now that Connolly's had some success running the ball, Georgetown's having to move their DBs up closer to contain that run. That's been pretty successful in this quarter.
Here's what's interesting, though. The last couple of plays, last drive, 3rd and 2, Connally decided not to run. Here's going on 4th down from their own 30, or from the Georgetown 35. Let's see if they decide to go back to the run, needing just a yard. They run the option play, and it's going to be just enough on the read option for a 1st down as Darius McGrew gets about 1.5 yards. Connally gets a new set of downs.
For the problems that Connally has had with their offense, they're still in this ball game. It's 10-0 lead. One score puts them right back in the mix, right back in the hunt, and Georgetown's got their backs to the wall. It's a big series for the Georgetown defense.
Clock rolling with 2:55 to go here in the first half. Connally playing their last game of the season no matter what. Georgetown trying to get ready for next week with the playoffs, and they've got a lot to play for tonight. We'll get into that in a little bit. This is a pass play near sideline. Got a man open. It's caught at the 10 to the 5. He is in. Touchdown, Connally Cougars. Demetrius Gardner on the 33-yard pass reception from Darius McGrew.
Conley's done a good job giving their quarterback time tonight because the Georgetown defensive line has had a lot of success penetrating, causing quarterbacks throughout the season to have to rush their throws. Conley's quarterbacks are able to stand back there tonight and pick their targets out. They've had some success. They've had a bunch of drops tonight, so that's been problematic. But now they connect, hang on to the football. They're right in this game.
Great pass there by McGrew. I'll tell you what, I don't know why they don't leave him in the entire game. He has really moved the ball on offense when he's been in there. The extra point kick up and good, as that looked like Darius McGrew putting it through. The quarterback also doing the kicking duties there. And your new score with 2 minutes and 39 seconds to go here in the second quarter. The Eagles lead cut to 10-7.
Yeah, Coach Patterson's coaching up the guys on the sideline on defense right now, and he appears from across the field to not be very pleased with what his defense is doing right now, especially on that drive. Of course, first time they've had a short field tonight. Could have been a big stop whenever they had 3rd and 1, but the defense wasn't able to hold them. Conley goes down the field, and those kids are excited on this side of the field in the all-black uniforms tonight.
Yeah, you got to remember, Connally comes in losing their last 6 in a row. They've only come away victors one time all season long. That was in a non-district game. And a chance for them, not only to end their season on a winning note, but also to really take Georgetown down a notch in the playoff pecking order potentially. A loss for Georgetown absolutely knocks them out of potentially hosting a home game next week.
Yes, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Everybody's been pretty much riding Georgetown off to a 3rd-place finish in the district. But if things work out right this weekend, if Georgetown can pull this game off, and then Maynard surprise Cedar Park by more than 3 points, then Georgetown winds up 2nd in the district, hosts a playoff game in the first round against LBJ. So it's either a home game against LBJ or a trip to Dripping Springs for the first round of the playoffs for the Eagles.
Georgetown will receive this ball moving right to left as the kick is away from Marcus Palmaris. End over end kick fielded at the 23 from Georgetown taking it back here. Making a man miss across the 40 and taking it down at the 45-yard line. That is Dre Langhorn. I apologize. Dre Langhorn, the sophomore. Fields it and takes it back about 20 yards on the return. So Georgetown with nice field position at their own 45 with 2:31 to go in the first half.
Dre made his first appearance on varsity last Friday night, made his first catch. And we could tell by the coach's reaction, they're really excited about what Dre's bringing to the field for the Eagles, another option at receiver.
Seosin has Moreno in the backfield with him. Moreno flares out to the right side next to Seosin. Read option play, handoff to Moreno, and that is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. No gain, in fact, a loss of about half a yard there for Georgetown as Connally really just pushed off the line of scrimmage and dominated at the point of attack.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising because one of the strengths for Georgetown this year has been that line, both offensive and defensive. And tonight, Connally is pretty much winning the battle in the trenches. Now, Georgetown started off hot in the first couple of drives.
2nd and 11 for Georgetown. Across the formation goes Corey Coleman, rolling out to the right. Seosin fires towards Coleman. That ball incomplete. Woo! He looked like he got hit early. No flag on the play, though. And it's 3rd and 11. Broken up there on defense by Jade Barron.
Seems like with every play that's a success for Connally, both offense and defense, they get a little more confident, a little more sure of themselves in this game. And, a lot of people expecting Georgetown to come in and dominate Connally, but that's not what's taking place right now.
This Connally team, a club that's given up 47 a game on average this year. Gave up one. They had a game against Liberty Hill early in the season where they gave up 84. Hand off, this one up the middle on 3rd and 11 to Moreno. He'll go across the 50 out to about the 49. Georgetown, though, is going to be about 3.5 yards short of a first down. Timeout Connally here with 1:46 to go in the Courtney Home Inspection second quarter.
Connor Heffernan did a great job of opening up that hole so that the running back can make that run, get a good gain, and move the ball up the field, give Georgetown a little bit better chance if they're going to go for it here on 4th down.
So, Kelly, we know you had some issues earlier with technical stuff, and we'll worry about that later. Tell me your impressions so far tonight. We haven't heard too much from you.
It's very problematic for Georgetown because they have, since the Cedar Park game, really, the offense really stepped up, started playing better in the Cedar Park game, which was the last loss that Georgetown's had. This does not look like the same Georgetown offense or defense tonight. They've got to get some fire to them and start pushing this Connally team around like they can. They're bigger than the Connally players are, and they've got to start moving these guys off the ball, or we're going to have ourselves a football game tonight.
I would expect a boisterous locker room here at halftime. A lot of coverage here tonight for this ball game. I know it's live on television, of course. We're getting the better broadcast here on SHN.
Yeah.
It is 4th and 4. Georgetown lining up like they're going for it. I would expect that punt again. In fact, that's what Seosin will do. An end-over-end punt. That ball's going to bounce at the 17, get a nice roll. And, it was inadvertently touched at the 11. Can't tell. Looked like number 3 down there, Isaiah Fillmore. Accidentally touched it. Tried to avoid it. It was going to stop at the 5 otherwise.
Yeah, the ball took a goofy hop on its second bounce and bounced right into Isaiah, who was hustling down the field to try to kill it inside the 10-yard line. Good job getting down the field, but just a little over-anxious. And that's one of those signs that the game's not going exactly like you want it to. The ball's not bouncing right for you tonight.
10-7, Georgetown leads Connally with 1:39 to go in the first half. Still 2 timeouts for each team, though, so Georgetown can potentially get the ball back here with a quick stop. Connally leaves McGrew in the backfield this time playing quarterback. Incomplete pass. It was intended for Stephen Crenshaw. Crenshaw was open at the 15 with room to work with and just couldn't haul it in.
McGrew, the quarterback, does a great job with that play-action fake. The line bought the fake.
Mm-hmm.
I bought the fake. Fortunately, the Georgetown defensive backs stayed on their guys. Incomplete pass, clock stops. 2 timeouts. enough time for Georgetown to put some more points on the board if they can stop on these next 2 plays.
McGrew signaling in the play. He's got 4 receivers in the set. Play clock down to 3. They got to get this one off. Snap at the 1 mark. McGrew fires, looking deep across the middle. Oh, just out of the reach. Overthrown by a yard or two to Crenshaw. At the 45-yard line is where he would have had it. And Crenshaw stays down. So, injured player here. I don't know if he got hit as he was reaching out right at the end there.
No, he grabbed his leg right after he went down, the back of his leg, maybe something. Pulled something on that run.
Crenshaw slow. Yeah, you can see him holding his right leg there. So we'll hope the young man is going to be all right as he gets attended to by the training staff for Connally.
Yeah, maybe a cramp.
He was in a full sprint. You could tell he was trying to run deep on the pass over the middle. I'll tell you what, Connally, and especially with Darius McGrew in the backfield, have had opportunities through the air tonight.
Yeah, early in their first, 3 drives, they had passes where the receiver was wide open, dropped the ball, and one of them was a touchdown pass. So they've had their opportunities tonight. Now, here in the second quarter, they're starting to piece those opportunities together, move the ball. They're going to have pretty good stats at halftime.
A little surprised, as well as they have been throwing the ball, that they're actually, as you mentioned earlier, not trying to hit that run a little more with the way they've moved the ball better than expected on the ground so far.
Right. With this short time on the clock, they want to move the ball down the field. I bet they hand that ball off now since it's 3rd and long.
Minute 28 to go here in the first half. Georgetown leads by 3. They fake the handoff. Instead, McGrew being chased out of the pocket, rolling to his left. Pass incomplete, flag down in the end zone. If that's a holding in the end zone, that's a safety. So you got to be careful on where the hold happened. They'll say it happened outside the goal line, so just a holding penalty that's declined by Georgetown.
Yeah.
So
I think McGrew was in the end zone, but the offensive lineman that held pretty much tackled Tyler Knowles, tried to tackle him, but they were outside the end zone, so the safety's not there. But Georgetown's going to get the ball back. Good field position, 2 timeouts.
Well, the one thing that Connally has done well tonight on the punting side of the house, Jeff Ward here to punt, is to not give Georgetown a chance to return. This time, though, a chance. Up to the 30, tripped up at the 27-yard line. That's Cade Lachlan. He was 1 player away from taking that one to the house.
Yeah, Cade's got great speed. He sees the openings well whenever he's returning the ball or running routes. But great opportunity for Georgetown now. 2 timeouts, a minute 12, and only 26 yards to go.
Golden opportunity for Georgetown to extend this lead back to 10 before we get to the half.
Brad, I think you're going to see Georgetown be pretty aggressive here and take some shots right off the bat. Wouldn't be surprised if they did. And we haven't seen Siosen run the ball himself a lot. They may get back to that because Siosen does a great job of picking his spots to run the ball.
Yeah, he's only taken off twice so far today. Both of them been very good gains, one of them for a touchdown. Siosen fakes the handoff. He's got a man over the middle, caught at the 5 and then dropped. Incomplete pass was to Noah Drum, but I'll tell you what, Siosen didn't see the guy at the top of the screen on the wheel route, or the top of the formation on the wheel route that was wide open.
Yeah, he was wide open. Siosen hit Noah in stride. Noah just got popped hard whenever he caught that ball. It's a good play by the safety for Connally. But
Roden was all alone in the end zone on the wheel route. It was a good throw either way. Here is 2nd and 10. Roden flares out again. That could be a penalty. They're not going to call it, though. Rolling to his right, Siosen. He does look for Roden in the end zone. Incomplete. Ball hit the defender in the back.
Yeah, Rodan ran the same exact route. That was the same exact play because Drum was in the middle as well. But the cornerback had some help from the pre-safety who came over to help him out on the.
And I thought they were going to hit Rodan with a penalty because it looked like he moved up the formation.
Motion, right.
Yeah.
His motion started forward, but they didn't drop the flag.
58 seconds now to go in the first half. 3rd and 10 for Georgetown. And I apologize, I will get Rodan's name right in the play at some point tonight. Siosen takes the snap. Looks right, fires right. It is intercepted at the 17-yard line. Ball intercepted by Harrison McKinley. He just jumped in front of the route as looked like Siosa never took his eyes off the receiver.
This doesn't look like the Connally team that's on the stat sheet.
No, not at all.
I haven't gotten to see Connally play this year, but you look at their stats, and this is not what you expect to see from a very energized, excited Connally team. They've gotten the confidence now. 52 seconds left in the half. They've got 2 timeouts. Connally may take some shots. They've had receivers open.
They're going to leave McGrew in the game. Connally started this game rotating Justin Santos and Darius McGrew at quarterback, but they've been more successful when they've had McGrew in the backfield, and that's what they're going to send out there again with 52 seconds to go here in the first half.
Yeah, that's the first time he's played 2 series in a row, isn't it?
I think it's his 3rd straight series, but yes, this is the first time either one of them has played consecutive series as far as this streak has gone, and Connally is going to get whistled for a false start. Oh, apologies. They're going to call timeout. They got the timeout in just in time. Hey! The man, the myth, the legend, the H in SHN Sports has arrived. Mr. Rob Hipp. His prior engagements completed. You're still stuck with me the rest of the night, though, folks. I apologize. Might get Rob on here at halftime, see if we can get his thoughts on.
Halftime interviews.
Yeah, we'll get him on. I'll let you let the folks maybe catch you guys.
I've been impressed with what Connolly's brought tonight. You know, it's the last game of the season. Their record's not what they want it to be.
Yep.
They've had some blowout losses, and you kind of expect these guys to come out here and just finish the season over, but they've shown some pride, some guts, some determination, and, boy, they have given Georgetown everything they want tonight.
And you wonder if the bye week may have helped with that, too.
Yeah, it couldn't hurt.
A little bye week last week for Connally and a chance to regroup before this last game of the year and trying to lay it all out there. 4 receivers set for Connally, 52 seconds to go, 1st and 10. They're down to 1 timeout, putting the ball in play at their own 19. Flare out near sideline, complete. That ball was actually in the backfield, so technically a running play, only a pickup of about 1. Can't see who came up with that. That was number 20, Demetrius Gardner. The clock is running with 36 seconds to go. Connally looks content to just let this one roll on out.
That's the same play they started the game with. Hit a wide open receiver.
McGrew looking near side, knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Brandon Hargrove got his hand up there.
That's the defensive line play that we've grown accustomed to with the Eagles this season. Brandon got his hands up, was watching the quarterback's eyes, and as soon as he pulled the trigger on that throw, stuck that right hand up, was able to swat the ball away.
J.J. Watt action from Brandon on the defensive end spot. 10-7 Georgetown leads. It is 3rd and 8 for Connally from their own 21. 25 seconds to go now in the first half. McGrew steps back, getting pressure, now steps up, fires deep over the middle. He's got a man open at the 40, and it's hauled in inside Georgetown territory, inside the 40-yard line to his brother, Dyson McGrew.
That's been a lethal combination tonight. He has been open and no help over the top.
Clock running, 13 seconds to go, and it's a spike as they try to clock it one time here. Connally, now if you've watched so far tonight, kicker doesn't really have much of a leg, so Connally really probably needs another 30 to 35 yards to even think about a field goal.
Yeah, I think they're looking end zone. I think that's all they're thinking about. They've got time for maybe 2 shots down the field. Middle of the field's open since they've got a timeout left, so they don't have to worry about the sidelines. Georgetown can't use that as a 12th defender, so everything's open on the table for Connally.
A really nice job with them hustling to the line of scrimmage and getting that spike in to save the timeout. So here's 1st and 10 from the Georgetown 38. Fake handoff, pump and go. McGrew fires deep over the middle, caught in the end zone, touchdown Connally. They take the lead on a 38-yard touchdown pass to Jahdae Barron. Wow.
Barron ran right past Nick Petter, who was the safety back there on an island, actually double coverage, and the receiver outran both of them to the end zone. Great throw.
Great throw. And both of the long throws on that drive, straight down the middle. Connally will take the lead into the locker room, it appears. Extra point, they're going to fake it. Rolling out, throwing towards the near side. Complete, makes a man miss. It is in. 2-point conversion good as it was completed to Dyson McGrew, and Connally has a 15-10 lead. Wow.
Pop Warner, middle school, high school, college, pros, missed tackles, kill. Absolutely kill. And Connally even started the drive with a 5-yard penalty, put them farther back, 11 seconds to go whenever they got this first down here. Took advantage of it. Like we said, the middle of the field was wide open. Their playbook was wide open, and they took advantage of it. They're going to the locker room with a lead.
They went 80-plus yards in less than a minute. Wow. So 15-10, the Cougars lead here at home at the field.
We're getting us a good football.
This is turning into a whale of a game here.
Yeah. I think a lot of people were thinking potential blowout.
I'll raise my hand on that one.
Yeah. And the way the game started,
it looked
right
like
to
it.
think that. But Connally came to play. It's good to see these kids not lay down, give up. They could have quit on the season, but they haven't. They are outplaying Georgetown right now.
And you know, you look at the last few weeks in the scores, and granted I haven't seen them play every week, but Georgetown's been winning by some hefty margins the last few weeks. So getting in a battle like this might be perfect before the playoffs next week. Got to come back and win it, though, to get those good feelings. End over end kick on the kickoff with 4 seconds to go. Fielded at the 15. That's Lachlan going up to the 30. Across the 35 to the 40, turning on the Jets. Flag down as he's taken down at the 45. I believe that's going to be a block in the back and likely will be the end of the first half.
Yeah, blocking the back away from the play, too. So
wait for the official decision here.
He was tackled anyhow, but, man, those penalties like that are killers whenever you're trying to make something happen before you go in at the half, because Georgetown gets the ball coming out.
Yep, Georgetown will get the ball. That will be the final play of the first half as Lachlan was taken down at the 45. Your score at halftime here at the field in Pflugerville. Connally with a surprising 15-10 lead over the Georgetown Eagles here on SHN Sports. My goodness, what a shocking first half here. Brad Tillery filling in for Rob Hipp. Kelly DeVoll joining us on the broadcast as he always does, as you get some kind of familiar voice instead of this crazy guy doing the play-by-play for you tonight. We apologize again, folks, for the technical difficulties earlier in the game. We've got it all fixed now. Hopefully you've been able to enjoy the broadcast as we move along. Also want to thank Nathan Height and Dave England for their technical work. We're going to bring Rob in here in just a second and see if we can't possibly. Rob has been able to finish up his earlier commitments and see if we can't get him on here and get his thoughts on what he's seen so far and get his thoughts here at the half as well.
Brad, let's thank some of our sponsors. Again, the Oak Ridge Disciple House. For the entire season, they have generously sponsored the broadcast. The Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based Christian character-building ministry that helps men age 18 and older overcome substance abuse addiction through a well-planned and structured program. If you or someone you know is struggling to overcome their addiction, the Oak Ridge Disciple House can help. Please visit them online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Thank you, Joshua Harris and the Oak Ridge Disciple House, for your generous support of Georgetown Eagle football on SHN Sports. And the Oak Ridge Disciple House has a tremendous success rate. So if you have somebody that you know needing help with addiction, please contact them. Also, we want to thank Georgetown Jewelry. The football on SHN is brought to you in part by Ricky Poe, owner of Georgetown Jewelry. Georgetown Jewelry specializes in custom jewelry, bridal, watches, repairs, appraisals, and are buyers of gold, silver, coins, and more. Georgetown Jewelry since 2013. Drop by the Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown or visit them online at georgetownjewelry.com.
Well, Kelly, we're going to tell you what. We're going to step aside for just a minute, folks. We are actually going to drop the stream if you're with us. Stick with us. We'll check back in like 5-10 minutes max. Refresh us. We'll be back. We're going to fix a few technical issues on the back end as we fix that up and get you ready for the second half. We'll be back in plenty of time, we believe, to sit here and also review the first half, preview the second half, talk about potential playoff matchups and things like that. So we're going to step aside. Again, for folks listening, the stream will drop for just a few minutes. refresh us in like 10 minutes max, and then we should be good to go and back on the air. Thanks for sticking with us here on SHN Sports. Back for the second half in just a minute. Welcome back to the field in Pflugerville, where the Georgetown Eagles trail the Connally Cougars 15-10 as we get set for the second half. Thanks for sticking with us here tonight on SHN Sports, folks. We know we had to step aside. We were taking care of some technical issues, but on the bright side, we got everything working ready to go here for the second half. We got the live stream going. We've got the all the mics going. Dave England's going to be down on the sideline with the sideline reporting for us. Cameras going. All that kind of stuff here. Brad Tillery here doing the play-by-play tonight. Kelly DeVoll is on the color next to me as always. Mr. Nathan Height over here, and Rob Hibb actually here as we move along, working the technical stuff for us, and Dave England on the sideline. Kelly, we are going to real quickly talk about some sponsors here, and then I want to get with you. First of all, thank our sponsors. Then I want to get with you and get your thoughts on that first half and kind of analyze a few things for us.
Right. While we're getting ready for the Todd Hargrove State Farm third quarter, we want to thank Minuteman Press. Minuteman Press in Georgetown is a proud supporter of Georgetown Eagle and Eastview Patriot football on SHN Sports. For all your design, printing, and promotional needs, Minuteman Press is your one-stop shop for all your marketing products and services. Minuteman Press can be found at www.mmptx.com. Thank you to my buddy Ty Gibson, Minuteman Press, for your generous support helping making these broadcasts possible.
Well, it was a up and down first half for the Eagles, and really a tale of two quarters, Kelly, as Georgetown came out on their first two drives, scored points in the first quarter, a touchdown drive, a quick one at that, as it was an 11-yard touchdown run from Jackson Siosin up the middle with 9:10 to go in the first quarter and take a 7-0 lead. Georgetown then got as far as the 5 on the next drive before having to settle for a 32-yard field goal from Diaz to make it 10-0. But in the second quarter, Connally came roaring back with a couple of long touchdown passes. First, a 33-yard pass from McGrew to Gardner to make it 10-7, and then with less than a minute to go, Connally marches nearly 80 yards down the field. A couple of long passes, including a 38-yard strike from McGrew to Barron with 4 seconds to go in the first half. 2-point conversion on a fake field goal was good to make it 15-10. Georgetown's find themselves in a fight.
Yeah, it's very uncharacteristic of this Georgetown team in the past 4 games. They really came to life, really picked up the tempo like they wanted to do, offense and defensive sides of the ball. They looked great in the past 4 games, and the Cedar Park game was a loss, but they really improved. We could see it starting to develop, and tonight they just don't look like the same Georgetown team from the previous 3 weeks especially, and this Connally team has come out gunning, not looking like they do on the stat sheet or what anybody expected. They've been very confident. They've carried their offense well, balanced running and passing attack, and the Georgetown defense hasn't been able to stop them tonight. The times Connally has been stopped, a lot of it was their own mistakes.
I would imagine that Georgetown team got a bit of a tongue lashing in the locker room there at the half.
Yeah, they got to come back. They're ready to play football in the second half, take this victory, and then see what happens tomorrow night, and hopefully secure that second-place spot in the district.
We'll check in with Dave England here after the kickoff, as Connally will kick right to left, then is south to north into the wind. The wind is picking up as we move along here in the game. It's probably about 15 miles an hour, so it's a chilly night outside. The rain's starting to come down. We'll talk to Dave here and get the field conditions in just a second and kind of what it is outside. Georgetown will receive after deferring on the coin toss. Kick away. We're underway here in the second half. Georgetown trails by 5. Fielded at the 25, up to the 30, to the 35, now the 40. 45, cross midfield to the 50, to the 45, down to the 40. Into Connally territory at the 38-yard line goes R.J. Marino on a heck of a return of about 38 yards, and that's where Georgetown will put the ball in play, 1st and 10 at the Connally 38.
That's exactly what Georgetown needed to do, start off well at the beginning of the Todd Hargrove State Farm third quarter and bring this Georgetown crowd and team to life. Let's see what they can do with it.
First and 10, Georgetown. Setting up in the pistol formation, Jackson Siosin. He's got Xavier Torres in the backfield with him. And a flag is down. Looks like we're going to have a delay of game.
Boy, those are the penalties that just absolutely frustrate coaches and kill drives before they can even get started. Georgetown's been guilty of some of those throughout this season.
Dave, I see the rain coming down there. It looks like it's a little chilly. How's it feel out there right now?
Brad, Kelly, currently it is 55 degrees down here on the field. Feels like 52 degrees. Winds out of the north. It's 100% humidity. You can see the mist falling through the stadium lights, and we have a thunderstorm headed right our direction.
Fake handoff, pass over the middle, out of the hands. Incomplete to number 3, Isaiah Fillmore. And it's 2nd and 15 now for Georgetown. How far away do you think that thunderstorm is?
That thunderstorm currently is coming across northwest Austin right now, the Jollyville area. Actually, it's kind of 22 in Mopac area. It's headed this way.
Okay. Well, we'll be on the lookout for that, as it might get a little nasty out here. 2nd and 15 for Georgetown. First drive of the second half, as we are just underway again. Fake handoff going around left side. Siosin on the design keeper makes a man miss across the 40 to the 35. Carrying defenders with him as he's done all night. And a 14-yard pickup for Siosin inside the 30 brings up 3rd and 1.
We usually see a little more of action Jackson Siosin on the carries like that. He's had a few tonight, but I think we're going to see more of him in this second half than we saw in the first.
Yeah, he only had 2 runs really in the first half. The touchdown run and another 7-yard first down run, but that was about it. I formation, power I, in fact. Siosin with the quarterback keeper, going old school. You don't see that too much. Enough for the first down as he crosses the 28.
Yeah, he's so tall. All he had to do was just lean on that center as he pushed forward, get the first down, and continue this drive.
15-10 Georgetown lead, or Georgetown trails rather, with a minute gone here in the second half. Georgetown, the benefit of a great kickoff return. They're already deep into Connally territory at the 27. 1st and 10. Across the formation here comes Cade Lachlan. They will throw near side. That's to, Coleman. Makes a man miss, and Corey Coleman only picks up a yard. Good tackling there by Connally to funnel him back, and it's 2nd and 9.
Yeah, Connally's doing a good job on Georgetown's bread and butter plays. Those throws out to the side, both sides of the field. They've done a good job in pursuing those, but Georgetown use that running game and keep this drive going.
Bunch formation in the backfield. 3 running backs back there with Siosin. Checking the play now at the line of scrimmage. 2nd down, 9 to go from the near hash. Running backs kind of collide. That's Marino, though, going around the far side across the 25 and take it down at the 24.
Brad Kelly, number 22, Moreno, he did not shy away from number 8 there, that last man to touch him. He went right at him and hit him in the mouth.
That was a chance there, really, for Georgetown. The timing looked like he got thrown off a little bit.
Yeah, Rodan got wrapped up in the backfield. I don't know what Siosin was talking to Javante after the play, so may have been something. One of the running backs was confused on that play.
Pickup of 2 brings up 3rd and 7 from the Connally 24. Marino stays in the backfield. Siosin takes the snap, fakes to Marino, looks over the middle, fires. Got a man caught at the 18. That's going to be shy of a first down by about a yard. Noah Drum with the reception. And I'll tell you what, that's a pretty generous spot they're going to give him. In fact, they gave him the first down.
Yeah, I thought he was stopped short. Now that the coaches don't have to make a decision on 4th down, they got that first down inside the red zone.
I'm with you. I thought we had a Frank Costanza stop short situation. Well, 1st and 10 Georgetown. A chance to get a first down inside the 10 if they can. Oh, Connally jumped off but got back onside.
Yeah, I thought he made contact. Thought they'd throw the flag.
That was Jaden Marino coming over the middle. Siosin fakes the handoff, takes it right up the middle. Makes a man as he cuts back left, make a man miss. Take it down at the 10. And, ooh, you can hear the wind whipping outside as it is now 2nd and 3. Dave, is that wind picking up as we're going along?
Yes, sir. That wind's getting going pretty good, about 10 miles an hour, maybe gusting to 12. But it's just that one thing to consider tonight is it's cold. So hands are going to be cold. It's also extremely humid tonight. It's almost like you're in an ocean down here. It's so humid. It's cold humid, though. And this mist coming across the field, if Nathan can pan up at the stadium lights, you can see it's just heavy down here.
Let's hear for number 11, Noah Drum.
How's the one other question for you, Dave, while you're down there. We've kind of been observing from up here most of the night while we've been figuring out some issues. What's the energy like down there on the sideline now?
This team's fired up. They came out of the locker room, and they are fired up. They're ready to go in there and win this game, get out of here with a W. I'm not seeing anybody, the confidence is high. I'm not seeing anybody down on this sideline at all.
Noah Drum being taken off the field due to injury here. And that is the delay right now as he's being helped off by the training staff. It is 2nd and 3 for the Eagles. Ball will be spotted at the Connally 10-yard line, right smack in the middle of the field.
Brad, I think this weather change may affect both offenses as well. Could see a lot more of the ground game.
You would think that favors the Eagles. Siosin takes the snap, handoff right up the middle to Marino. That'll pick up 2, bringing up 3rd and 1.
I thought Marino was going to be stopped right about the line of scrimmage, but he did a good job pushing forward. We've talked about it all season. RJ runs so strong, keeps that center of gravity low, keeps his pads low, and he does a great job moving that pile forward and gives Georgetown positive yards a lot of times whenever you think he's not going to get anything.
Xavier Torres checks into the game at running back. 3rd and 1. Big set to the right side for Georgetown. Heavy on the line of scrimmage. To Torres. Untouched into the end zone. Touchdown, Georgetown, as the Eagles take the lead on a 7-yard touchdown run from Torres.
Exactly what Georgetown needed. Start this Todd Hargrove State Farm third quarter with a great drive. Run it right down the throats of that Connally defense. Maybe take some of the wind out of their sails, but that was a great drive, great play calling, mixing it up. But again, the running game is where Georgetown had their success on that run, on that drive.
Georgetown looking to go up by 2 with this extra point. They have a chance to actually make it a 3-point game. Had they gone for 2, instead they'll take the 1. It's good, and your score with 7 minutes, 52 seconds to go here in the Todd Hargrove State Farm third quarter. Georgetown 17, Connally 15.
While we've got this break, I want to thank another one of our sponsors, Georgetown Interstate Transmission and Auto Repair. Supports Georgetown Eagle and Eastview Patriot football in Georgetown. For general maintenance and automotive repairs performed by ASE certified techs, drop by Georgetown Interstate Transmission and Auto Repair next to Mel's Lone Star Lanes. You can visit them online at georgetownautorepair.com. Thank you, Joe Bob and Georgetown Interstate Transmission and Auto Repair for your generous support of high school football in Georgetown.
An impressive drive there for the Eagles to start off the second half of play as they struggled the entire second quarter. In fact, Georgetown shut out in the second quarter. And that time, the Eagles just able to take the opening kickoff of the second half, get a nice return, and then on a short field cash in to regain the lead.
You know, sometimes at halftime the coaches are going to make adjustments, and you figure that they probably go into that halftime locker room after the first half that the Eagles put up and raise some voices. But, you know, it may just be getting them focused back on the fundamentals of what they got to do, get the line blocking like they need to block, get both sides of the ball, controlling that line of scrimmage, moving Connally off the ball, and going back to what Georgetown has been successful doing for most of the season.
Kelly, Brad, let Rob know I'm very glad I'm not the cameraman in the south end zone up on top of that scissor lift, because if we have any lightning, I'm watching the south right now if we have any lightning.
Kickoff taken at the 25 by Connally, dodging a couple attackers, and then finally wrestled down at the 28-yard line. That's number 26, Torrey Harrison, with the return. And the Cougars will put the ball in play, officially the 27.
I think that ball is going to start to become a factor being wet. We'll see if we start seeing some more drops, see if the footing on the field stays. Thankfully, it's a turf field, but that can get slick.
Absolutely. That rubber that's down in there can get real slick real fast.
It is wet.
7:45 to go here in the third quarter. Connally gets the ball for the first time this half. Turnaround, handoff up the middle, now bouncing out to the right side. Tripped up in the backfield. That was Demetrius Gardner on the run, but a nice play by Taylor Beal to tackle him. Otherwise, there was green turf all ahead of Gardner to break that one open for a long gain. 2-yard pickup instead. It's 2nd and 8. Two backs in the backfield with McGrew, the quarterback. He will turn around, fake the handoff, keep it himself, around left in. That's going nowhere. He's taken down in the backfield. Heck of a play by Mason Meyer, the first team all-district defensive lineman from last season, coming back for his senior year at Georgetown, making a big play, and it's 3rd and 10.
we didn't call Mason's name much in that first half, but that's the Mason Meyer that we've grown to know and love for his ability to get into the backfield and disrupt the play before it even gets started. Great play there by big number 6.
Third down, 10 to go for Connally.
Georgetown crowd coming alive.
4 wide receivers set. McGrew getting chased in the backfield. Down he goes again. Sacked at the 15. Damage done by Jack Schneeman. And the Georgetown defense looks like they have woken up here in the third quarter.
It's good to hear Jack's name called. I've watched that kid play football for years and years and years. Coached him in Pop Warner. And he's always been a great defender, very determined, great nose for the football. He did a good job getting into the backfield and shutting that down before Connally's quarterback had any chance to do anything with the football.
An 11-yard loss. And here's interesting. Georgetown's really brought up the returner with the punt game now after the way the punts had worked in the first half. Trying to cut down. Block attempt. It is blocked and recovered in the end zone. Touchdown, Georgetown. Nate McMillan doing the damage.
That is what we needed. The coaches are excited next to us, pounding on the desk. Great job by the special teams for Georgetown. Turn this game around, and now it is a drastically different ball game for the Eagles.
Big special teams play from Georgetown. Nate McMillan shooting through untouched, laying out for the block, and then he gets to score as well. Not often you get to see the guy who makes the block also get the touchdown, but McMillan is justly rewarded.
Those linemen were hungry. You could see them moving around there right before that play got kicked off, and they came blasting through there.
Extra point on the way. It's up. It is true, and Georgetown has quickly taken control of this game. Your new score with 5 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the third quarter. Georgetown leads it 24-15 here at the Todd Hargrove State Farm third quarter.
Kelly, I've got a question for you.
Go ahead.
So I think if I'm correct, this ball game, for us getting ahead like this, if we do have a possible lightning or rain delay, is that it for the game if they call the game and we have the lead?
I think they have. I don't know for certain, so don't quote me on this, but I think they've got to get through 3 quarters before they will say that either team wins. I'm not certain on that. I know if they cancel it at halftime, it's just considered a canceled game, and they would either – I don't know that they would make this game up unless it has implications with standings in the district.
That's kind of what I was wondering about.
What you would imagine if for some reason that happened and Cedar Park wins tomorrow, well, nothing would change as the district standings are now. Georgetown can finish this season in the district anywhere between 2nd and 4th.
Right. And a lot of people didn't expect these kind of implications to be available at this point in the season, but that Maynard-Cedar Park game gets really interesting tomorrow with a Georgetown win here if they can pull this game out.
Brad, Kelly, I got to give a shout out to Emily. She's down here. She's got her rain gear on the camera. She's braving the weather. Reporting for Fan Stand. Doing a great job down here.
I'm high and dry, so I'll stay up here if you don't mind. End over in kickoff, fielded at the 8. Taking it back across the 25 to the 30 and down just shy of the 30-yard line is Jade Barron. Barron had a touchdown catch in the first half for for Connally. 24-15, Georgetown leads here in the third quarter.
Good job on the coverage there. That kid's got some speed. Saw something look like a block in the back, but the referee kept his flag in his pocket, so we're starting clean and fresh. See what the Eagle defense has in store.
3 wideouts in the set, 2 men in the backfield along with the quarterback, Darius McGrew. McGrew fakes the handoff, keeps himself around right side across the 30 and 35 down to the 36-yard line. A good pickup of 7 yards on first down for Darius McGrew, and that's a phase of the game we really haven't seen too much out of him tonight.
Yeah, and based on their statistics, the quarterback is one of their threats to run the football. They kept that in the backpack of play calls that they used in the first half. Now it seems like they're going to drag that back out. Now you got one more weapon you got to try to account for in that running game.
2nd down, 3 to go from their own 36 for Connally. McGrew claps, receives the snap, fakes it, and is chased down from behind. That man again, Mason Meyer, coming up with another sack at the 31. A loss of 6 brings up 3rd and 8
fumble on that play. And Connally, number 51, was lucky enough to bounce on it. Tyler Knowles would have had it.
Yeah, you can chalk that sack up to the coverage that time. The coverage has changed much better in the second half so far.
Yeah, McGrew tried to get him on a pump and go on the near side here, and the defense didn't bite.
Yeah, they bought that twice in the first half, and it cost them both the touchdowns on that pump fake.
Francois, their best receiver, sets up in the slot on the far side. 3rd and 8. McGrew fakes a snap, fires towards Francois at his feet. Almost intercepted. Play broken up there by Jack Schneeman.
Jack had that ball in his hands. I know he's just sick that he wasn't able to pull that interception in. He pulls that in, it's nothing but green between him and the end zone.
That's right.
Georgetown has come up firing on all cylinders since the break. This was a 15-10 Connally lead at the half. It's 24-15 Georgetown. We still got 4 minutes, 13 to go in this 3rd quarter. Georgetown blocked the last punt. Let's see what they do here as Connally sets up. Snap low. Georgetown nearly got to it, and they kicked it away quickly, did Connally. Ball fielded at the 40 by Lachlan. And quickly taken down as he gets up to the 49-yard lines where they'll spot it. So Georgetown in their own territory, but basically right at midfield to start this drive.
Yeah, that's twice they've rushed that punt really hard. Almost got to that second one then. Coaches probably saw something on the film that told them they could get to those punts.
That rain right now is crossing across Palmer Lane. It's pretty close to us. So if you see me take some cover, that's why. Might be off mic for just a little bit.
You keep yourself safe, my friend.
Gonna take Emily with you?
She's on her own.
1st and 10. Snap back. Seosin fires, got a man over the middle, and it's dropped. That was Dylan Cahill. Ball was in his hands and just could not come down with it. Would have been a nice gain on 1st down.
Everything's just so wet and totally slippery out here. So
yeah, and on that one, Dylan tried to turn and run before he had that ball. May have felt that defender close behind him, but break a tackle, ifs and buts.
I gave away all my candy at Halloween last week, so can't finish that one for you. 2nd down, 10 to go. Handoff up the middle. That is across the 40 to the 36-yard line. That was R.J. Marino. Nice run, bouncing it outside over the right side. Good blocking by the line on that right side. A pickup of 16 and a 1st down.
You see how strong R.J. is whenever he gets out there. It's hard for one guy to bring him down. And he initially fought that tackler off, was eventually able to hang onto that jersey and pull him to the ground, but R.J.'s so strong running the football.
Marino stays in the backfield. Set up behind Seosin. Only 2 receivers in this set. Handoff right up the middle to Marino. Makes 1 tackle and then taken down by a host of Connally Cougars. A gain of 5, though, on a 1st down on the dive play.
RJ, I've said it I don't know how many times. RJ is so strong. He's got that low center of gravity. He's not that big of a kid, but he's strong. You can see it when he runs the football. It's fun to watch him run.
2nd and 5 from the Connally 30. Georgetown driving again. Really have taken over this game since the break. Handoff up the middle. Now breaking over the right side. Jumps over one man and then can't make another one miss. Marino picks up about 2.5 on the play. And that'll bring up 3rd and looks like 3 where they're going to spot it.
Brad, these big guys up front are looking like the offensive line we've grown accustomed to watching with Georgetown. Those big guys are starting to move Connally defenders off the ball, opening up some holes. Then the running back stopped in the backfield, but 1 tackler there, and he's able to gain 3 or 4 yards because the offensive line is really doing a much better job on their blocks.
4 receivers set here for Georgetown on 3rd and 3. Now they're going to motion the backfield. This is going to be 5 set. Seosin on the keeper. Straight up draw play. It's enough for a 1st down as he is all the way down to the 21-yard line. Gain of 7. And a nice play call there to spread the defense out and then let Seosin use his athleticism to pick up the 1st.
I don't know why they had gotten away from Seosin carrying the ball so much in the first half. It may have just been what the Connally defense was giving them. But whenever Jackson can start running that football so effectively, it really changes how the Cougar defense has to address Georgetown offense.
1st and 10 now, Georgetown from the Connally 21. Handoff over the right side. That's Torres, and he's taken down inside the 15 all the way down to the 13-yard line for Xavier Torres. A nice run on first down, a pickup of 8.
This looks more like the Georgetown offense we're used to, David. These guys are really, really mixing it up. Got Connally on their heels now, so this is more of what we were expecting in the first half.
I agree, Kelly. There's a total different confidence level right now with this team.
Second down, 2 to go. Torres stays in the ball game and running back. He will take this handoff up the middle, stutter steps, and inside the 10 he goes, spun down at the 7. First down run for Xavier Torres, another pickup of looks like about 7 yards, and it's first and goal, Georgetown.
Javante Rodan was the one that pushed that defender there. X-Man was going to change his direction out to the left, but Rodan pushed his guy past him, kept it up the middle, good gain, first and goal.
Kelly, did you hear Mr. Rodan introduce himself to the Pflugerville defender? I could hear it over here. It was loud.
First and goal, Georgetown. Torres fakes it. Siosin keeps it around left end. Dives for the end zone. Touchdown, Georgetown. Jackson Siosin with his second rushing touchdown of the game. And Georgetown has blown this one open. 3 touchdowns here in the third quarter. It's now 30-15 with an extra point try on the way.
This is exactly what Georgetown needed. This is the push they needed. They needed to start leaning on that defense some because Connally doesn't have a lot of depth, so if our offensive line can control that, those guys are going to start getting tired. We can ice this thing away.
Extra point on the way from Diaz. Snap good, hold good, kick good. And your new score with 55 seconds to go in the Tard Hargrove State Farm third quarter. Georgetown 31, Connally 15.
Boy, on those extra points, number 3 for Connally, Keith Williams, has almost gotten to every one of them. I've started watching him on those kicks now, and he's gotten close several times. We want to thank Program Insurance Group for their sponsorship of SHN's broadcast. Program Insurance Group, located in Central Texas, is an insurance provider servicing clients in all 50 states. Program Insurance Group is designed to fit your insurance needs and help you manage potential risk. Offering a wide variety of insurance products for business and personal needs, Program Insurance Group has you covered. For more information, visit them online at www.pigbcs.com. Thank you to Doug Groves and the Program Insurance Group for sponsoring Georgetown Eagle football on SHN Sports.
31-15, Eagles lead over Connally. I hear somebody on your microphone down there, good sir. Getting an earful.
Yeah.
So we're talking about this rain that's fixing to come in.
Yeah, we were just showing the lights, and you can really see that rain starting to come down harder and harder.
It is.
Which, when you're now, Connally's down by 16, it's going to be difficult. They're going to have to take extremely good care of the football, and their turnover ratio this year, they are minus 11 in turnover ratio this season. So some turnovers is what Georgetown could produce.
I'm noticing some hands on the hips on these Connally defenders.
Kickoff away, fielded at the 25-yard line, and they're going to say it was a fair catch.
Yeah, that should be a delay of game penalty for him taking off, running down the field after the fair catch.
McAnthony Everest made the fair catch.
Another player called the fair catch.
Well, that would be why they took off. I didn't say anything. What are you talking about?
And that's a reason why they wouldn't throw a flag. Yeah. And it's either a delay of game or unsportsmanlike conduct. But in that circumstance, if he's not the one that calls it, he takes off running. He doesn't know it's been called. So that's a good job of the referees not pulling the flag out then.
52 seconds to go in the third quarter. Georgetown has taken this game by the throat, 31-15, after trailing at the half, 15-10.
Yeah, now they got to keep their foot on their neck and keep this going.
Late substitution here for Connally. That was Dyson McGrew coming on the field late. He's in there now. Connally looks like now they're going to call. Looks like they're going to call a timeout. All right. Interesting explanation.
Yeah, I'd seen the play clock had expired. Sometimes they'll reset it if the defense is getting on the field late in a substitution setting like that. But Connally substituted so late they weren't going to reset the clock, but they have to allow Georgetown to substitute if they substitute.
So it's 1st and 15 now, as it looks like Connally's got Stephen Crenshaw in there at QB. That is Crenshaw. He'll fake the handoff, and he is met right in the backfield, going nowhere. That looked like number 6, Mason Meyer, in there on the tackle.
Yeah, I didn't see the number of the defender that got into the backfield, but he was back there like a shot out of a cannon.
It's almost a wildcat kind of play there for Connally.
How waterproof is this microphone?
Rain is starting to come down hard. So we are with 20 seconds to go in the third quarter rather. Rain.
Fans are bailing.
Everybody's bailing if you don't have a uniform on right now. 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. We actually might be getting to a point where, as long as it's rain, we're good. Pass out near side, off the hands of Crenshaw, incomplete. As the pass from Justin Santos, the second quarterback on the roster, was a little bit high. 3 seconds to go here in the third quarter.
Santos is stripping his gloves off now. I don't know why he's doing that, because those gloves help with that grip on that football in this rain.
When we say everybody's taking cover, we mean the bands. Everybody's taking cover.
I'm going to tough it out.
You're a better man than I, sir. Santos playing QB this drive for Connally. Blitz coming right up the middle. Ooh, holy goodness, that ball is out, and it looks like we'll see who got it. Georgetown saying they got it. They do.
Nice.
Fumble forced inside the 10. I didn't see who came up the gut, but somebody right at the mesh point.
I believe that was Taylor Beal, number 31, came flying in there and got in the middle of it.
Taylor Beal, right at the mesh point, what they call it when the handoff was coming to the running back, just destroyed it before the ball could even get to the QB.
I think both players had their hands on the ball, and he absolutely blasted the quarterback. Ball pops loose. I think it was Mason Meyer came in and recovered it. And I think that's the end of the quarter.
That's the end of the quarter. They're flipping the field here as we get to the fourth quarter. 31-15. Eagles lead the Cougars as we go to the final quarter of play here in the regular season.
Brad, we start the Bobby Rogers family fourth quarter with the momentum, a short field, the weather's on our side. Things are looking good.
You know, Rob was worried a little earlier when we were talking. He said, Brad, you might be bad luck up here. And I said, Rob, I've never lost a game for Georgetown calling a game up here.
Well, we didn't turn this around until Rob got here. So, hey. Yeah.
That's true. That's true now. Rob got here around halftime, and then we're good.
Hey, Dave, what yard line are you on? We're going to zoom in on you for the fans to see this weather.
50-yard line.
First and goal, Georgetown from the 10. Handoff around right side to Marino, trying to pick up a block. And that play rather was snuffed out by the defense for Connally, so no gain there. In fact, maybe a loss of a yard or two. Brings up second down.
They tried the edge out there, but Connally was ready for him. Cornerbacks did a good job staying out there in their areas. Do you have a player down?
Hey, Kelly,
Looks like he's tying his shoe. Yes, sir.
Coach Dean's son down here is the ball boy, and the blue down here at the goal line. He's working his tail off to try and keep this ball dry.
Yeah, you can see he's going through towels like crazy over there. Second down, Marino takes the handoff over the left side, met at the 6, and he'll be taken down there. Nice run there for RJ. And it'll be third and goal, Georgetown. I don't know if you're going to try to throw the ball into the wind right now, with it's coming across the field north to south, and Georgetown's heading right into the teeth of the weather.
Yeah, I don't think you're going to try anything deep, but 6 yards to the end zone, they may go off some play action, or we may see action Jackson Seosin run the ball and play action.
Marino set to his right. They will give it to him, going to his right. Cuts back up the middle. Oh, met in the hole. He had a little grasp, but a good play there. Tip of the cap to number 15, Mark Fajardo, to make the tackle, and that'll bring up fourth down and goal from the 6, and the field goal unit looks to be coming on.
On that handoff, I threw my hands in the air because I thought RJ was going to score, but the defender came in for Connally, made a good, solid tackle low on RJ, like you got to tackle him because you go up high and he's going to carry you in the end zone.
It really was a nice cutback, though. You and I saw the same thing. The hole was there.
Yeah, the hole was there, but that defender closed it up. Dave, you look miserable.
Oh, it's good times. Life is good. It's Friday night lights. If the boys are on the field, I'm on the field.
First of all, field goal up into the wind and good. Woo! You could see the wind just kind of knock that one dead, but it would go through as the field goal from Matt Diaz is good. And Dave, if it's Friday night, can you tell my boss that so I don't have to go to work tomorrow?
I'm sorry. Thursday night football. My bad.
Your new score, by the way, with 10:06 to go here in the fourth quarter of play, 34-15. Eagles lead it in the Bobby Rogers family fourth quarter.
Brad, we want to thank Bobby Rogers and the whole Rogers family. Fourth quarter action is brought to you by Bobby and his family, Trey, Amy, and Lindsay. Also, if you're interested in any vehicle, give Bobby a call. He can get any vehicle that you want or need at 806-632-9846. Again, that number is 806-632-9846. Bobby, if you're listening tonight, thank you, buddy, for all your support through the whole season. And the whole Rogers family, Trey, Amy, Lindsay, I know you guys are getting ready for that Tech UT game tomorrow. I, too, will be in Lubbock with my son, ready to watch that game, but we may be pulling for different teams.
Well, I'm expecting I grew up in the Deep South. I went to Auburn. I'm expecting a rather not fun night Saturday night. We got to go to Georgia, so, yeah. Hopefully your night's a lot more fun than mine.
We'll see. Should be a good game. I'm excited. Get to see my son, freshman up there at Texas Tech, Jesse. My daughter, Samantha, is at Sam Houston, making me proud. Bearcat Nation. It's good to have kids at school.
Kickoff on the way. Fair catch called for. Bobbled and fallen back onto by Connally there. Fielded at the 25-yard line. So 10:06 to go here. Fourth quarter of play. Georgetown leads at 34-15 over Connally. If you're just joining us, that might sound like, well, maybe what we expected tonight. Connally led this game at the half, 15-10.
They did, and it was a surprising first half. Everybody was surprised. Connally fans were very excited. This is more the Georgetown team I expected to see tonight. They just needed a wake-up call, and that was the first 2 quarters of play.
Just as the offense takes the field here for Connally, this rain's going to pick back up again. It's going to get heavy here in a minute.
First and 10, Connally from their own 25. 3 receivers set. Handoff over the left side to Demetrius Gardner, and he won't get much. Pickup of about 2.5 on the play.
Brad, we're starting to see those big uglies for Georgetown do what those big uglies do for Georgetown, and that is control that line of scrimmage, push those Connally, the offensive linemen back, gain control of that line of scrimmage, which is what we said they needed to do at the half.
I think you've seen that on both sides of the ball, too,
Yes.
really.
Yeah.
Second down, 7 to go now. They've got, Connally does, Darius McGrew playing QB again this drive. McGrew hands it off up the middle, and that is stuffed at the 30-yard line. Demetrius Gardner again on the carry.
Again, that's a defensive line controlling it. Have you met their line coaches, defensive and offensive line coaches?
I have not.
Yeah, they can wield some influence just walking in the room. I'm sure they had an influence in that locker room at the half.
Third down and 5 to go now. 4 wide receivers set for the Cougars. McGrew takes back, looks left side, fires, got a man, complete, breaks a tackle in across the 40 and taken out of bounds there. That is Jade Barron. This thing's come up a few times here over the last little bit. And the rain, I'll tell you, it's coming down in buckets now. Oh, my goodness. You can hear it. It has been raining pretty hard most of the second half, but Dave, it seems like this is the hardest it's come down all night.
Yes, sir. It's coming down again. That Pflugerville side is empty now.
Hey,
there's a lot of brave Georgetown Eagles up there in the stands, too.
I see 2 brave folks on the 50 over here on the Pflugerville side.
Yeah.
Fake handoff, dropping back, screen pass set up, and over the head.
Hey, shout out to the Georgetown fans that have hung around ready for this. They, pretty good chunk of them have stayed.
That's some hardcore dedication over there.
That is. I'm proud of them.
Screen pass, by the way, intended for Demetrius Gardner. Who'd you say broke that one up there, bud?
That was Tyler Knowles. He jumped up there and got his hands on it and disrupted that screenplay. Real nice. He saw that coming.
Yeah, I think if Georgetown could put some more points on the board, we may lose those Georgetown fans over there.
2nd and 10 now, Georgetown playing defense as Connally will flick this one out near side to Diamante Francois, and he will not get far. Good tackle there just to hang on for dear life at the ankle, done by Nate McMillan, and that'll bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, I thought he was going to break Nate's tackle, but Nate did a good job of hanging on to that ankle until help got there, and they brought him down.
Connally taking their time. 8:14 to go here in the Bobby Rogers family 4th quarter.
This is football weather too, you know.
Fake handoff, McGrew looking, scrambling out to his left, still keeping his eyes downfield, floats one over the middle, tipped up, and could not come down with it. McMillan had the hand on the ball for the tip, and it looked like
43 tipped it to 42.
42, Sal De La Rosa just couldn't come up with it, and that'll should bring up 4th down, but 3rd and 8 is on the board.
There's a flag on the play.
There's a penalty on the play. There's an illegal motion called against
Illegal motion called against Connally, but
4th down.
that's declined.
And that will be 4th down and 8 to go. So Connally will set back to punt.
That clock's really started to become an issue now for Connally.
When the lightning delay, we have to clear the field now.
Up, and we are going to a lightning delay. Right as the ball was about to be snapped, Georgetown.
Who is that?
Number 37 for Georgetown, Taylor Beal,
Clear the field now.
thought he was going to get in the backfield pretty quickly. And right as they snapped it, the announcement came for a lightning delay. 34-15 your score. Eagles lead, 7:55 to go in the 4th quarter. Georgetown's come out and really dominated here in the 2nd half.
Yeah, they have. This is more of what we expected on both sides of the ball for Georgetown. So we will wait and see what this lightning delay does. Dave, have you seen how big this storm is?
Let's see here. Pull up the old trusty radar app. They're suspending the game right now. It's actually fixing to pass. It's almost past us. So,
yeah, but they got to wait 30 minutes for that lightning delay. So we're at least 30 minutes away from more football tonight.
Yeah, we're going to be a little while here as the they got, in fact, a 30-minute countdown clock over here on the scoreboard ready to go. Dave, come up here and get dry for a little bit, my friend. Or head to the locker room, wherever you're headed.
Or bring me a sausage wrap.
I'm going to sign off here for a little bit and try and get Emily and see if we can come up to the booth.
Got it.
Excellent.
Well, we're gonna jump in here in just a second and actually show you our pretty faces. Brad Tillery, Kelly DeVoll, and Rob Hipp going to jump in here as well, it looks like, as we sit here in this lightning delay. Rob, welcome into the broadcast, sir.
Hey, man. Well, just wanted to, say so far for Georgetown, man, I got here a little bit early or a little bit late tonight. And Brad wanted to say thank you for being here tonight.
Always happy to do it.
It's always a joy to have Brad step in whenever we have things going on here at Georgetown. I was actually at Southwestern tonight for the Southwestern Football Coaches Show with Coach Joe Austin. But, man, really for Georgetown right now, some struggles early. They've started to find their rhythm here in the second half of play. And you got to give your hats off to special teams doing some great work. And actually, I had stepped out for a second when that play happened, but I overheard it on the PA where Georgetown blocked the punt and then ran it in for a touchdown. But for Georgetown, there is a little bit on the line tonight, Brad.
Yeah, we've been talking a little bit about playoffs all night long and what's coming on. Kelly, I know you know the picture for the playoffs kind of more intimately than maybe I do, and you've been talking about it all night. Why don't you run the folks through what could happen?
Yeah, so the tiebreaker system will come into play if Georgetown wins this game and Manor is able to sneak up and beat Cedar Park. So we lost to Cedar Park by 3 points. We beat Manor by 14. So if Manor wins by 4 points or more, up to 13 points, then we will finish in second place. Maynard will finish in third place, and Cedar Park would wind up fourth.
And what's the difference between second and third between matchups in home games versus road games?
So what they've done this year with the district realignments and the division alignments that they've done in 5A, the first 2 teams in the district get a home game. So we are paired in Region 3 with District 12. And as the second place team in District 11 will play the third place team in District 12. Right now, it looks like that the second place team will be Dripping Springs. It looks like the third place team will be LBJ. So if everything works out right and Georgetown winds up in second place, then we would host LBJ at the GISD Athletic Complex next week. I don't know the day yet, but it would be next week. And it would be a home game for Georgetown.
Kelly's on the bracketology over here for us, so a lot of work goes into that, and you think about all the different scenarios. And Brad, this district for Georgetown here in 11-5A Division II, Division I, very tough district for the Eagles.
Yep.
They're going up against teams like Hutto, Cedar Park, and right out of the gates this season, I was kind of making the assumption that whoever wins versus Hutto and Cedar Park, that team was going to be number 1. Kind of felt that Georgetown would finish up number 3, and that looks like how things are going to wrap up here for Georgetown in this season. Of course, really wanting the district crown, but that's not going to happen when you got a team like Hutto. Georgetown got, handed it to them by Hutto. It wasn't a big blowout score, but it was a good handout. And then Cedar Park, Georgetown, again this year only losing by 3 points. If you go back and look at last year, of course, Georgetown, their games that they only lost those games by a combined total of about 3 points. Of course, they lose in the playoffs to College Station, and then College Station goes on to win the state championship.
Yeah, at the beginning of the season, with the district realignment and with the graduation losses, because Cedar Park had a bunch of graduation losses, Georgetown had lost a bunch of key players to graduation. A lot of the other teams did. We weren't real sure how strong the district would be. We had some traditionally strong teams in the district, but we weren't real sure. And pre-district, there were some losses that started to really throw that into question. Hutto struggled with a very strong 4A Liberty Hill team, but you always think 4A, 5A, the 5A team would dominate. They almost lost to Liberty Hill.
That same Liberty Hill team beat this Connally team, scoring 84 points earlier this year.
And then Cedar Park had some pre-district losses. Georgetown had some pre-district losses, and it had been several years since Georgetown had lost pre-district games. So they had, I think, the past 3 or 4 years had come into district play undefeated. Cedar Park had come in undefeated. Hutto had come in undefeated. And whenever district play started, those top 3 traditional powers had a combined 4 losses before district play started. But once district play started, then the teams started getting their feet under them. The younger players started getting some experience. And now it's to the tough district that you would expect with these teams in this district.
And Brad, during this break right here, wanted to remind folks that we are opening up the SHN fan line for texting. I'll send those over to Brad, as I won't be on the air. I just kind of stepped in here for a little bit.
No, feel free.
But we'll send those over to Brad. But if you do have any comments, any shout-outs, anything that you'd like to add to the conversation, we're just trying to fill some airtime here during this suspended game due to lightning. Feel free to text us at 512-522-9105. Again, that SHN Georgetown Eagle fan text line is now open at 512-522-9105. We'd love to hear from you tonight. We'll read those here over the air.
We're going to talk a little more football here just a second when it comes to the playoffs. Just a heads up, we are 24 minutes away right now, it looks like, from getting back underway. It's a minimum 30-minute delay when there's lightning around. Typically, they'll restart that clock if the lightning hits within 8 miles. So the fact that the clock is not restarted is actually good news. You saw me looking away from the camera for a couple of times, looking out towards the field. We had a big swall of rain a minute ago come through. It's kind of back to the normal steady rain we've had for most of this second half. As long as it's raining, we're good. We can play the ball, play the game. Lightning's where it gets dangerous, so hopefully this lightning will get out of here. We can play the last 7.5 or so minutes, I think, that are left in this ball game. Georgetown leads it 34-15. Let's give you a quick scoring update from earlier tonight. I'm going to pull out my notepad here and write down what's been going on. In the first quarter, Georgetown were able to come out, take advantage of what we thought would be a Connally defense that they would run over all night long, and it was Jackson Siosin on the first drive of the game, capping it off with an 11-yard touchdown run, 9:10 to go in the first quarter to make it 7-0. Next drive, Georgetown penetrates as far as the Connally 5 before a fumble forced them back, forced a field goal, 32-yard field goal from Diaz was good, 10-0 Georgetown. But in the second quarter, it was all Cougars. Their defense able to stop Georgetown time and again, forcing 3-and-outs, flipping the field even a couple of times, and that led to some scores. First, a 33-yard touchdown strike from McGrew to Gardner to make it 10-7, and then Connally got the ball back after holding Georgetown. They got the ball right around their own 20-yard line with about a minute or so to go in the first half. Connally, on a couple of big plays, able to move the ball down the field, and a 38-yard touchdown strike with 4 seconds to go from Darius McGrew to Jade Barron. A 2-point conversion on a fake field goal rollout pass. 15-10 your score at the half. Connally with a surprising lead after one half of play. And you and I talked about it. We were shocked at how that first half ended. It looked like Georgetown maybe was a little flat in that second quarter.
Yeah, very uncharacteristic of Georgetown, and I expected them to come out because I know these coaches have talked about the implications of tonight. The coaches up here in the booth that we talked to, all were aware of it. So I know the players were aware of it, and I'm kind of surprised they came out flat. But whatever got said at halftime worked, whatever adjustments they made, because Georgetown really came out fire, and that defense looked very enthusiastic, ready to play football, more of what we were expecting.
Second half came about. Georgetown got the opening kickoff and took it right down the field. A nice kickoff return to start the second half, getting great field position around the 40-yard line to start the drive. And Xavier Torres caps off a nice drive with a 7-yard touchdown run, making it 17-15 Georgetown with about 7:52 to go in the third quarter. A blocked punt on the next drive after Georgetown's defense forced a quick 3-and-out from Connally. Nate McMillan blocked one inside the 5. Ball rolled into the end zone. McMillan jumped on it, recovering it, so he gets the block and the touchdown. Special teams score, 24-15 Georgetown at the 5:45 mark of the third. And then Siosin with his second touchdown run of the game, a 7-yard scamper with 55 seconds to go in the third, making it 31-15. Georgetown's last score coming on a field goal attempt, a 23-yarder from Matt Diaz, 34-15, where we stand with about, we think, 7.5 minutes or so to go in the ball game. They have the clock running on the scoreboard down on the countdown clock from the weather delay, so we actually don't have the game clock up right now to go back to that.
Right, 20 minutes until we get left to play. Now what both teams have to worry about is this 30-minute time frame is time that they've got to keep the players focused, got to keep them warm a little bit. I know they're going to let them sit down and catch their breath a little bit, but they've got to keep those muscles warmed up, especially with the drop in temperature, with the rain. So when they come back out, they'll give them time to warm back up, but it's not going to be your typical pregame warm-up that you have. So hopefully all the players will come through this healthy, strong, nothing else will happen. Nobody will get hurt. We can finish this game and then look to tomorrow night to see where we stand.
We were talking a little bit about playoffs and potential matchups. If status quo holds heading through tomorrow, the matchup that I think is really interesting is that Dripping Springs matchup. Not only because Dripping Springs is traditionally a pretty good football team, but a former district mate with Georgetown. So teams that are familiar with each other, fan bases that are familiar with each other. I remember the first game I ever did, filling in for Rob for Georgetown, was a game against Dripping Springs on, I think it was the night after Halloween. A bunch of flooding happened. Dripping couldn't get up there. And Georgetown scored with 10 seconds to go on the clock to win a barn burner, 43-37. Those two teams have played some great games together, and now you put a playoff atmosphere in it.
Yeah, and Dripping Springs has not forgotten that. I think that was the last game we played against them in district.
I believe so.
So, you know Dripping Springs would like a shot at us. There a couple of great games while we were in district with them. So, we've got about 18 and a half minutes before we can get back to play here.
Tell you what, we'll try to go to, I know we got a couple of college games and a pro game going on tonight. Let me see if I can get you a scoreboard update. Folks, in the pro game, my goodness, we have a bit of a shellacking going on. Just started the fourth quarter. Pittsburgh 51, Carolina 14 on Thursday Night Football. Let's click into here and see if we can look at some stats, because I may or may not have some fantasy implications going on. Ben Roethlisberger with 328 yards passing. Get this, he's 22 of 25 tonight. Connor, 13 rushes for 65 yards. Antonio Brown, 5 catches, 100 yards score. Juju Smith-Schuster with 3 catches, 90 yards and a score. They're going crazy over there in Pittsburgh tonight.
When I got to the stadium, I put Roethlisberger as my starter on my fantasy team, and man, that was a good move.
I may or may not have Antonio Brown and Cam Newton going tonight, so the Newton win may not be great, but the Antonio Brown win's pretty solid. In the NCAA, we'll tell you what, a good game going on in the ACC right now. Wake Forest, NC State, number 14 in the country, in a tight win with Wake Forest on Tobacco Road, 23-20 your score there, 4 minutes, 54 seconds to go. Yeah, you are having a good night on your. He's showing me his fantasy team over here. He's
56 points on my fantasy team.
I just saw some more lightning.
Well, they have not.
Back there to the west behind the bleachers, the home bleachers. So I hope that was further than 8 miles.
Both bands, I think, have had enough of the weather, so they're packing it in and heading to the houses. Buses are leaving with those guys. But
and you got to wonder. Here's the question, because Dave just mentioned it was further than 8 miles away. The lightning he saw, he thinks it was. So we haven't restarted the clock yet.
Well, he is a weather guesser.
But at what point did the coaches think about walking away? I know Connally probably wants to finish out their season. They've only got a few minutes left to go. Georgetown's got bigger things to play for next week. The games, you got a 19-point game, about 7.5 minutes to go. At what point do you think about the health of the players and moving on? And injuries?
If this game had no bearing on standings at all, I think they may give that some consideration. But I know Coach Dean and the rest of this Georgetown coaching staff is keenly aware of the potential, because a home game, regardless of who it's against, first round of the playoffs is a great stepping stone into the playoffs. And Coach Dean's well aware of that. If they can get this game in tonight, they will.
Well, not only that, you're talking about seeding too, right? There's a difference between 2 and 3 seeds in every district and who you play. So home game could mean huge. Manor, we talked about it earlier, and we said Cedar Park plays Manor. And when I mentioned it to you, I was like, I think Cedar Park's probably okay. You said not so fast.
No, Manor's got some weapons, and we saw some of those weapons whenever we played them. And they've had some close losses this year that have been kind of surprising. And I think Hutto was really the only game that they got blown out in. But Manor has some weapons, and Cedar Park is not the Cedar Park of years past. Not saying they're not still a quality football team, but they're not as dominant as they have been in the past, and you see that in their win-loss record this year. So,
and do we know where that game is tomorrow night? Is it in Manor, or is it at Cedar Park?
I can check real quick, but
it's in Manor. Okay.
Yeah,
Nathan says it's in Manor.
Manor's senior night, last game of the season, a ton on the line. Manor could wind up third in the district instead of fourth. So they could wind up in a situation to where they're not playing the top team from District 12, which that's good for everybody involved.
Yeah,
except for Cedar Park.
Second through fourth, it's really up in the air. And what we're talking about here, folks, let's run you down the district standings just so we can kind of bear witness to what's going on. Hutto, they're locked in at number 1 seed. They're 5-0 in district, 8-0 overall, top 10 in the state in 5A Division 1. They are going to host, we know for sure, and be the district champions. Cedar Park, 4-1 in district play, 6-3 overall. Georgetown, 6-3, 3-2, but looking like they're going to go to 4-2 if they can hold on here the last 7 or so minutes in this ball game. Manor, 3-2 in district play with a 4-5 record overall. So Cedar Park, if Manor wins tomorrow night, Georgetown, Cedar Park, and Manor will all in district play at 4-2.
Right.
So that's where all the tie-break scenarios that we've been talking about come into play, and it gets really interesting real fast. And Cedar Park could go from 2nd to 4th in the span of 48 minutes tomorrow night.
Well, and if you look, I think college football uses the same first tiebreaker in case of a 3-way tie. And even at the college level, at the high school level, the past 2 years, that has had some big implications. It's affected teams that a lot of people root for in this area, and really that's the only tiebreaker that they can go to first. I don't even know what the tiebreakers are beyond that, because to go beyond that, it would take some drastically weird scenario of everybody losing to everybody by the exact same amount to go to the second tiebreaker. So there's a lot on the line tonight for Georgetown, and like I say, if they can get this game in, which we may be about just under 13 minutes away from continuing this game, if they can get it in tonight, they will.
Well, we're at the 12:45 mark on the lightning delay. Remember now, folks, after we get done with the lightning delay, there's usually about a 10-minute stretch time for the players to kind of loosen back up. And so we can try to, as much as possible, to avoid injuries. The stands are completely empty here right now, as everybody's been asked to take cover and shelter. The bands have left, it appears. I know the Georgetown band is gone. And the parking lots are getting relatively empty out there. I don't think anybody wants to get too much more wet than they already have tonight, as Georgetown leads at 34-14.
So let's go to District 12, which is who District 11 is matched up with in Region 3. Seguin 6-0. They are locked in at number 1 because they defeated Dripping Springs earlier in the season. So Dripping Springs is at 5-1, LBJ is at 5-1, and McCallum and Crockett are the ones that are battling for 4th place. They cannot finish any better than 4th place between those two. So it's between Dripping Springs and LBJ where they will finish. Now, having said that, there is still the possibility, if the stars and planets align right, where it could be a Georgetown-Dripping Springs matchup in Georgetown.
Hey,
But
Kelly?
that would take some really weird things to happen. Yeah, Dave?
Hey, Kelly, I'm looking at the other SHN stream right now, the AISD football game. It's Dripping Springs defeating Connally 49-7. That's a final over there at Crockett.
Okay, so that locks them in at 6-1 in district. So they will be the second place
So wait,
team.
and who did Dripping Springs play tonight? I'm sorry.
They defeated Crockett 49-7.
So a win for McCallum tomorrow night locks McCallum into the playoffs with Crockett loss here.
I believe so. Let's
Crockett
see.
would be 3-4. McCallum would be 4-3 with a win tomorrow night.
Yeah, let's see what happened between McCallum and Crockett.
Well,
check.
McCallum would have 4-3 record. Crockett's now at 3-4. So because Crockett just lost.
Okay.
So a win tomorrow night locks McCallum in. Who does
Right.
McCallum play tomorrow? They play Travis, who is winless in the district play this year.
Right. So
In fact, winless on the season.
Right.
So McCallum, if they can hold serve tomorrow night, which you think they probably will
Right.
against Travis, McCallum's going to be locked into that 4 spot. So the question in the whole district now becomes the 2 and the 3.
right. So as things stand right now, if Georgetown winds up in that 3rd place, they will play at Dripping Springs next week. Don't know date or time, don't know any of that yet, but I would imagine the coaches have already settled on date and time of the game. Regardless, the coaches have conversations with each other, and they know what the scenarios are. So
Brad, Kelly, you want the good news or the bad news?
let's go with the bad to start.
Let's see, Bee Cave, Sunset Valley, there's a huge sale headed straight this way. Good news is the farmers are going to be happy.
Well, maybe that will stay away long enough for us to get these last few minutes in.
And another thing I've been thinking about, I'm standing down here undercover on the south end zone, and I'm just thinking back to the Hutto game last year where we had that the lights in the stadium went out, and there was just enough time for it's almost like a halftime. What adjustments are being made in those locker rooms right now? And you know, I think we've got a 19-point lead. Is this game still close if there's any adjustments made on either side?
So we're trying to figure out the rest of the situations here for the playoffs for District 12 as we look at everything. Just a reminder, folks, as we do talk about these playoffs, next week when the playoffs start, due to UIL rules, it will be an audio-only broadcast here on SHN Sports. There will be no video. I believe you can get video if you want to rewatch the game later. Is that right? Nope, I apologize. It is audio-only the entire way due to UIL rules and regulations. So if you want to watch it, you got to be there in person. The good news is you can hear the radio broadcast inside the stadium, wherever we are, on 91.1 typically. But if you are planning on streaming the game next week through SHN, remember that the game will be audio only. We're trying to figure out exactly who LBJ plays tomorrow night. They
Seguin.
will play Seguin.
Number one team in the district.
So
Yeah.
if service holds, Seguin's undefeated this year. LBJ will finish 3rd in the district.
Right.
Dripping Springs will finish 2nd. And it looks like McCallum will finish 4th.
Right.
So that's kind of how you're matching up. So what we're talking about for Georgetown is either playing Dripping Springs LBJ or potentially no, they're locked as low as 3, right? They can't. Georgetown can't fall to 4.
Right. We will play either Dripping Springs or LBJ.
Okay.
If we play Dripping Springs, it will be in Dripping Springs.
Well, we got about 7.5 minutes to go before the delay is officially over for now. We are still waiting on confirmation on if they're going to continue the delay or not, but we have not received word that's going to happen at this point.
And our weather guesser, Dave England, is keeping an eye on another cell.
Yeah, currently it is 54 degrees here in Pflugerville. The wind is out of the north at 12. Humidity, of course, is at 100%. Feels like 50 degrees down here on the field is your wind chill. And, yes, there is another cell. It is coming through Bee Caves and Sunset Valley right now. It's still got to go through northwest Austin. I give it another 20, 25 minutes before it's here.
Maybe right about the time that we're planning on kicking this game off again, or a little bit after, it looks like. 34-15 your score. Georgetown leads over the Connally Cougars here at the field in Pflugerville, as you see Mr. Dave England hiding out, I think somewhere down there. Where you at, Dave? Oh, there he goes. He's under the shack down there between the locker rooms.
Yeah.
Waving down there. He is. We're going to get the camera on him down there so you guys can see where he's hanging out. Don't forget, folks, we also want to encourage you to check in with our friends at Fan Stand. They do a great job throughout the season as well. We kind of work kind of together in a way, conjunction, and they do such fantastic work, and we'd love for you guys to continue to do stuff to check them out as well.
Folks, we talk about our sponsors a lot. We're going to talk about a couple of them here again. We ask you, please, if you have any needs that these sponsors could provide to you, please, please, please visit these sponsors. Give them your business, because without them, these broadcasts would not happen. Oak Ridge Disciple House has sponsored the entire season. We are tremendously thankful for them. Oak Ridge Disciple House is a faith-based Christian character building ministry that helps men age 18 and older overcome substance abuse addiction through a well-planned and structured program. If you or someone you know is struggling to overcome their addiction, the Oak Ridge Disciple House can help. Please visit them online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Thank you to Joshua Harris and the Oak Ridge Disciple House for your generous support of Georgetown Eagle football on SHN Sports. And Josh's son or grandson? Is that Josh's grandson plays? His son. Yeah, his son's 8th grade team won their district tonight.
Congratulations.
Going undefeated, so congratulations to them. Josh, thank you so much for everything you do, not only with Oak Ridge Disciple House, but with SHN Sports as well. We also want to thank Georgetown Jewelry. Football on SHN Sports is brought to you in part by Ricky Poe, owner of Georgetown Jewelry. Georgetown Jewelry specializes in custom jewelry, bridal, watches, repairs, appraisals, and are buyers of gold, silver, coins, and more. Georgetown Jewelry since 2013. Drop by Williamsburg Village Shopping Center in Georgetown or visit them online at georgetownjewelry.com. We also want to thank Minuteman Press in Georgetown. They are a proud supporter of Georgetown Eagle and Eastview Patriot football on SHN Sports. For all your design, printing, and promotional needs, Minuteman Press is your one-stop shop for all your marketing products and services. Minuteman Press can be found online at www.mmptx.com. Thank you to Ty Gibson and Minuteman Press for your generous support and helping make these broadcasts possible. And several of our sponsors also sponsor the Eastview broadcast. Eastview has clinched the playoff spot, so congratulations to them. Only the second time they've been in the playoffs in their history, so we're excited to see what Eastview does in the playoffs. Good luck to them and all the Patriots in their playoff game that starts next week.
So I mentioned Fan Stand a minute ago. Folks, listen in tomorrow morning, 1370 a.m., our one and only, 19, say that again for me. Tomorrow night, I apologize, not tomorrow morning. Tomorrow night, around 7 o'clock or so, Rob will be on Fan Stand. Rob Hipp is going to join Fan Stand at 1370 a.m., sometime after 7 o'clock tomorrow night. His alarm clock often will go off that early. Mine, I've never seen 7 a.m. in my life unless I have to catch a flight, so it doesn't work for me. So when I said that, I found it weird because I didn't know it existed, Rob.
Brad Kelly,
Yeah.
hot off the presses. Coach Dean was talking here with some officials down here, and they're checking with him to request see how much warm-up time he needs. So it's looking promising.
Okay.
As the rain comes back down heavy again. We've got a little window of opening here before that other cell comes through here, with almost approaching just under 2 minutes to go here.
Yeah, we are at the 2:15 mark on the delay. Good news, though, if they're asking about warm-up time, so that way we can get going again here pretty quickly. You got to think maybe the coaches talked about stretching in the locker rooms, keeping them loose that way so we can limit the warm-up time and get going pretty fast, knowing that there's probably more weather on the way.
Yeah, they'll do a little bit of that stretching in there, but they're going to have to come out here on the field and do some more exhaustive stretching, I guess you could say.
Another thing to consider is these young men have school tomorrow. So
Poor boys.
you know what I mean?
Yeah. Hey, I want to kind of continue with that shout-outs. Matthew Thunder Harris, Josh's son, plays there at Florence, and apparently he had an interception near the end of the game to seal the victory for Florence as they won their game 16-12 over Hamilton. So those kids have got to be excited. It looks like a bright future there in Florence for their football program. So congratulations, Matt. Great job, buddy. And Josh, give him a pat on the back for us here at SHN.
Speaking of shout-outs, I want to say hello to some friends of the broadcast. First of all, Sean Williams, watching from the University of Nevada in the biggest little city in the world, Reno, up there. Hey, Sean, happy to have you in. And then Taco Williams, extended family, watching us all the way from Nova Scotia up in British Columbia.
Wow. That's so cool.
That's
awesome.
Awesome. Watching from British Columbia to Nova Scotia. So it's actually all across Canada. Pretty awesome. Had to have you guys in. Just for good news, we are doing a countdown. 30 seconds to go until the delay is officially over. They have not reset the clock. That's fantastic news because whenever they don't reset the clock, it means that we are good to go. I remember we did a baseball game. Rob, you were there. We had it earlier this year, or earlier in the calendar year. I think Georgetown played Rouse, if I'm not mistaken, and that game had several lightning delays. Dave, you were there as well, if I'm not mistaken, and we had several lightning delays to sit through, and the clock kept getting restart and restopped, and
Here
it turned
comes
into
Pflugerville coming
several
out
hours.
of the locker room.
Yep.
Good. We're going to play football and finish this game to one person in the stands.
Gentlemen, I can tell you, just feels bitterly cold down here right now. It's almost like a second cold front has come through, and it's wet.
Our friends in Canada are calling us ridiculous right now.
Yeah, it is. So hope these youngsters are healthy, no injuries, get stretched out good, and have a healthy game.
To our friends, it looks like they put 7 minutes on the clock for warm-up time. And to our friends in Canada, bitterly cold here in Texas means 50 degrees. So, we got to make sure that we put that into perspective for you.
Well, after we've been baking all summer, we're entitled to a little bit.
So I told you off air earlier, I went on a guys trip earlier this year. Had the opportunity to see a game at Notre Dame. It was a nighttime game, a lot like this actually. Misting rain. They played Stanford. Good football game. Love the atmosphere. Just knocking a bucket list trip off. But it was like 55 degrees outside. And normally I like kind of cold weather, lived up north. I haven't run through that much hot chocolate in forever because I was just not prepared for what 55 degrees means to me anymore when I'm living down here.
Yeah, I'm fortunate enough to get to travel all over the country, and when I go up into the Northeast or up north where it's significantly cooler there than here, they tend to laugh at me. But I've also found after baking in the summer, a little 30 and 40 degree temperature is nice. Walk around in. So, folks, we're going to get to play some football here pretty quick.
Just to recap, folks, 34-15, your score right now. Georgetown leads it over the Connally Cougars. We're about 5 minutes away from starting this game back. Both teams warming up in the south end zone. Georgetown trailed this game 15-10 at the half. They took a 10-0 lead. Connally roared back in the second quarter with 15 unanswered points. But the third quarter, coming out of the locker room at the half, it was all Georgetown Eagles. as they just rolled over Connally. A couple of good offensive drives for touchdown, a block punt for a touchdown. Georgetown scored every time they've touched the ball here in the second half. And I honestly, Connally's lining up to punt, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
As we will be set. I believe it's 4th and 8.
Yeah, the scoreboard says 3rd and 8, but they were lining up for a punt.
Yeah.
And one of the Georgetown defenders was one of two things. Either really upset that he didn't get to rush that punt or really scared of the Lightning because he went sprinting off the field to
I have to tell you an anecdotal story real quick. So you mentioned scared of lightning and sprinting off the field. The one time I have ever seen a professional baseball game where a player completely sprinted off the field, I would happen to be at Wrigley Field maybe 10 years ago. I used to, when I was traveling the Midwest and working in baseball up there, I had an off night and we happened to be in the area, so we went to go see the Cubs play. It's the one time a tornado happened to go through the north side of Chicago. And Lance Berkman and the Houston Astros were on the other side. And Puma, as he's well known, lightning hits behind center field, and Puma took off like a puma to the dugout the moment the lightning struck behind center field. Meanwhile, I'm sitting in the bleachers in left field, getting rained on in the bleachers, waiting for this to happen. It was one of the more interesting nights I've ever had at a ballpark, and a lot of fun. Brad Tillery here with you. Kelly DeVoll on the color. We've got Dave England down on the sidelines, freezing. I don't know how he's making it. Rob Hipp making the saying the hello up here as well as we're on Facebook Live right now.
We're on my Facebook Live, folks. So
good news is, Brad, Kelly, Emily said we're still going to get to go for a blizzard tonight.
Well, there's one on the field, right?
Yeah, there is. But DQ.
I forgot to mention Nathan Height back behind us as well. If you're watching on Kelly's Facebook Live, wave Nathan. Hey, there he is. Glad to have everybody along again.
Got my buddy James LeBlanc just checked in with us. James is in Nederland supporting his Nederland Bulldogs tomorrow night against my Port Neches Groves Indians in Mid-County Madness, my friend. If you've never been to
I don't even know where Nederland is. So.
Nederland is in southeast Texas, Beaumont, Port Arthur area.
Okay.
Nederland and Port Neches Groves have played each other. I think this will be the 98th year. Great high school football rivalry, one of the best. In my opinion, the best high school football rivalry. If that stadium would hold 40,000 people, there'd be 40,000 people there. And it's going to be on the reservation at Port Neches Groves. My Indians against the Nederland Bulldogs tomorrow night. Wish I could be there to not only see the game, but see my old friends in southeast Texas. So, James, glad you checked in with us, buddy. I see Nola. She's checked in. Nola's down there in that area, too. Got a bunch of friends down there on both sides of that rivalry. That's a great game. You ever get a chance to go to that game. Fantastic high school football game.
Just want to check in downstairs real quick. Dave, is the rain picking back up?
Yes, sir. I am standing at the 43-yard line, and I'm staring at some ice here on the ground. They have decided to dump the ice. They don't need it tonight. It is just flat miserable. I'm not going to lie to you, fellas. But we're going to tough it out, see this game through.
As long as there's no lightning.
Yeah, just no lightning. Let's get this done.
We got about 7 or so minutes of game time to get through with no lightning. If we can get that out of here and get it done.
There's our buddy Bobby Rogers. Bobby just checked in. Caden and Gage Leggett's grandfather. Great to see you checking in, Bobby. Hope to maybe get to see you sometime this weekend when we're up there in Lubbock. Thanks for checking in, buddy, and thanks for your support of SHN Broadcast, my friend. Means a lot.
On the game clock, we're about a minute away from getting this thing started once again officially on the scoreboard clock down there. Glad to have everybody along, everybody joining us on Facebook Live, on Kelly's Facebook Live right now, folks who are joining us through text, folks who I know are just watching and listening to our voices. Keep going. We're at the 10 o'clock hour now. We expected to be off the air by now, quite frankly. But
we were hoping. I'm hungry.
Hey, at least McDonald's is open 24 hours by the house, so I got something I can go snag on the way home. We are about to kick this game back off. I say kickoff. It's actually going to be a punt off, as Connally will be lining up to punt unless they decide to go for it here on 4th and 8. Somebody's loud down there. There's a few Georgetown fans sticking it out
that is
on the other side.
That is Mr. Ward.
Got the cowbell out. On the Connally side, it is empty. It is 100% empty over here right now, so I don't think anybody's stickling out.
So that was
side of the field.
Cohen Ward's dad, Mr. Ward, with the he's got the propane tank painted blue with some metal in it, and he's a fireman out of New Braunfels. Shout out to Mr. Ward. And we've got some other fans that are still braving it out here. I see Dylan Cahill's mom, and lots of parents still braving the weather.
Well, the rain coming down hard as we are set to play football here. 7:55 officially on the clock as we set down or get ready for play again here in Georgetown. Or excuse me, here in Pflugerville as Georgetown takes on Connally. Just waiting on the Eagles to take the field. They are on the sidelines. Here comes the 11 that will take the field for the punt.
Yeah, Bobby just messaged me. Bobby, you going to cook me a burger tomorrow if I show up at your tailgate, buddy? That would be fantastic. I'm hungry. That's Saturday, I mean.
Cade Lachlan deep for Georgetown, standing around his own 30-yard line. Wind is at the back of the punter for Connally. Georgetown coming after it again. This time, Connally gets it away. Lachlan will let it bounce at the 28, gets away from him at the 18. Just kind of falls on it there so it doesn't roll any further. And Georgetown will take over inside their own 20.
Well, we'll see what these teams have done after they come out of the locker room. Hopefully everybody will stay healthy. No pulled muscles or anything. They only got 7 minutes of warm-up time before this game resumes. So we'll see what adjustments they made.
The Bobby Rogers family, fourth quarter, 7:48 to go. Georgetown with the ball at their own 18. 2 men in the backfield. Georgetown bringing in a tight end on this play. That's Chris Martinez on the near side. Handoff up the middle, over the left side, taken down at the 27. That's Xavier Torres. A nice run on first down, picking up 10 and a first down for a new set of downs rather for the Eagles.
Xavier does a great job of letting his blocks develop. He's a patient runner, quick. I like watching that kid run, too. Two totally different types of backs whenever you see RJ run the ball and whenever Xavier runs the ball, but they're both very effective in that running game.
Looks like Georgetown's going to keep that extra tight end in there. Pretty big set. Torres with a handoff again, this time met at the line of scrimmage and falls forward for about half a yard.
A lot of sportsmanship between the players, helping each other out with uniforms and stuff. You got to wonder if the coaches, you wonder if they might have requested a running clock.
Yeah, it's possible. The rain coming down pretty hard again. It's blowing north to south, though, which is interesting.
Yes, sir. That wind is still blowing out of the north at cold
front. That would be a cold front.
Yes, sir.
Torres takes the handoff. Left side he goes, trying to sneak away from the defender, and he will not be able to. Taken down right at the 30-yard line. Just a short pickup of about 1.5 yards for him. That'll bring up third down and 8 for Georgetown.
For my friends checking in on Facebook, you see a little lack of shaving here. It is Movember, the no shave November.
I haven't shaved in like a decade, so
bringing awareness to men's health issues, especially prostate cancer. So, fellas, go get checked out. Stay healthy. Let's hang around for a long time. There's my good friend Angela Washburn. Hi, Angela.
4 wide set here for Georgetown on 3rd and 8. They'll drop back to pass. Siosin fires over the middle. Got a man complete at the 35, out to the 40, across to the 45, up to the 50, and inside Connally territory. That is Cade Lachlan on the reception. A pickup of 24 on the play and a first down for Georgetown.
Great run after the catch there by Cade. He was able to get around a couple of defenders and really move the ball down the field, keep this drive going, just keep that clock running.
Down to 5:30 to go here in the Bobby Rogers family fourth quarter. Georgetown really taking their time. Not in a rush to get this snap off.
Jackson's keeping an eye on that play clock.
Yeah, we're down to 10 seconds on the play clock. Georgetown still not fully set. Snap coming back at 4. Siosin hands it off. Over the left side. Up across the 40 to the 35. That's Javante Rodin. First down and an 11-yard pickup. Georgetown continue to move the sticks, and they have gone to a running clock.
Yeah, they have. They're not even stopping it on the first down, so they just want to get this game in, get it over with. Keep these players healthy.
We're down to 4:50 now in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 Georgetown from the Connally 35. Siosin with Rodan in the backfield. Handoff to Rodan, up the middle, shake and bake, breaks a tackle rather, and out to the 31 is where his momentum will be stopped. 4-yard pickup.
Hey, Dave, I got a message from Noel Charpentier saying you should have brought your bunker gear tonight, man.
I should have. I should have my bunker gear and helmet on down here. I'd feel a whole lot better.
Yeah, he's talking bad about you, brother.
Yeah.
He wants to know if you need to use his.
Well,
fireman.
Yeah, I got to say, us Georgetown firemen, we're tough.
Oh, is that what it is?
What about for it? No, just kidding.
We love our second responders.
34-15, Georgetown leads under 4. Handoff to Rodan over the right side, across the 30 to the 25, down inside 25 to the 21. And a first down for Georgetown. Clock will continue to run.
All my fireman friends are going to come just flood my house down.
Brad, you got to be quick around Kelly. He's quick with it, man. I tell you, it sure is fun watching Rodan run, man.
He's very patient.
Powerful.
Very patient runner, too. Lets his blocks develop and then hits the hole quickly when it's open. Rodan stays in there at running back. Down to 3:20 now in the fourth quarter. Rain coming down harder. Snap, handoff to Rodan. Goes over the right side, across the 20 to the 15. Down to the 10, knocked out of bounds inside the 10 at the 7. And another first down pickup for Rodan. This time they do stop the clock as he was knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, they may stop until they reset the ball. We'll see.
That'll
tell us for sure.
Check out that north end zone, young lady in that maroon coat. She's got a big bag of plastic over her camera for fan stand right now.
Is that your daughter?
That's dedication right there.
It is. You're going to have to buy her a sundae, an ice cream, and a hot chocolate.
Our traditional blizzard is going to be nice there to DQ.
Rodan stays in the backfield in the pistol formation. Right back to him they go. Makes a man miss at the 5, breaks a tackle, falls inside the 1, but will not break the goal line. Ball came out, but they say that the runner was down.
That's correct. He stretched out at the last minute, and he was down right there at the 1.
Yeah, Rodan, that nose for the goal line was there. You could tell he wanted to get in then bad.
Yeah, this is the Javonte Rodan drive. He has done pretty much all the work here on the ground for Georgetown.
I want to give a shout out to his father. He's serving our country in the military right now. Really thank the Rodan family for their sacrifice and their service.
So it is second down, goal to go for Georgetown inside the 1. Rodan takes the handoff. Up the middle he goes. Fumble into the end zone, and I believe Connally fell on it.
Yep.
They did. Tough break there for Javonte Rodan. After all the work he and the offensive line did to move that ball down the field, and then a fumble on a wet night here in Pflugerville as he's heading into the end zone for the score.
Yeah, we said earlier that wet ball may start to become a factor, and it was just in.
Yeah.
My mom just checked in on Facebook with us saying, "Scalp them, Indians. Ready for that Mid-County madness."
Getting ready tomorrow.
Dave, I'm taking you to that game, man.
That is a bucket list, I tell you what.
Replay showing, by the way, that we believe Rodan may have been down on that last play before the ball came out.
Well, the stat sheet will show he was not. No replay in high school.
2:16 to go, by the way, here in the fourth quarter. 34-15. Eagles trying to finish this one off. Back to pass, McGrew. He'll throw it over the middle and complete. But that receiver, Diamante Francois, just not able to get away from the tackle. In fact, it's going to be a loss of about 3 on the play.
Good job by the Eagle defense keeping that from going any farther. Looked like he may have come close to breaking the tackle, but help arrived, and they were able to shut it down.
Connally not really trying to move too quickly right now either. I think both teams just trying to get out of here where they can. Snap, pass to Francois, almost picked off. McGrew stared down Diamante Francois, and Nick Sanchez stepped in front of it. And if he's able to hold on to it, he's gone.
Yeah. That brilliant color commentary.
Rob's doing a duck walk here on Facebook Live.
You folks are missing a show if you're not on my Facebook Live right now.
The Georgetown crowd staying loud. I can hear them back there behind the live mic of Dave England. 3rd and 13, fake handoff. McGrew rolling to his left, trying to find a man. Throws incomplete. Looking for Francois again. And that time, number 29, Noah Thompson got his hands on it for Georgetown. Just couldn't come down with it.
Noah was watching the quarterback's eyes the whole time and was standing right there. Just that slick ball, he couldn't hang on to it. That's why he's on defense. That's why he's not at a wideout position.
4th down, 13 to go for Connally. 1:31 left in the Bobby Rogers family 4th quarter. Georgetown rolling to their 4th straight win, it appears, here tonight, as they will go into the playoffs with some really good momentum. We're going to bring the rush. Almost got to the punt again. Did Jack Schneeman. Punt is fumbled at the 50, falling back on it. Georgetown able to get the ball. Cade Lachlan was not able to receive the fumble
That
cleanly.
was a very high kick, way up there.
Jonathan Neitch able to fall on the ball. First time, you mentioned that's a high punt. First time they've really had that high punt all night. It's been a lot of low kicks.
We just watched that replay, and Schneeman almost got in there. Boy, he was close to blocking that, but again, that slick ball was difficult to control. Fortunately, the Eagles stayed on it. I say let's go to victory formation. Let's get out of here. Looks like from the coaches next to us, that's exactly what's going to happen.
It looks like so, too. 1:21 to go. Handshakes happening in the coach's booth next to us where the Georgetown Eagle coaching staff sits. And Seosin will take a knee. Connally not going to call timeout. We're just going to work on getting out of here. We're down to 1:15. Play clock. We'll need 2 more snaps, it appears.
Brad, Kelly, would y'all like a post-game interview with Coach Dean?
If we can, that would be great.
Yeah, that'd be fantastic.
I said 2 more snaps. My math, I said I'm not a math major. I'm going to need 1 more snap to officially close this game out for Georgetown. They're already shaking hands on the lines of scrimmage.
Hey, Dave, see if you can get a play or 2.
Down to 48 seconds, 10 to go on the play clock. Georgetown trying to wait this out long enough for the play clock to not matter on the next one. Seosin takes a snap. There's the knee, and that will be it. 35 seconds to go, but your final score tonight will be a Georgetown victory, a hard-fought 34-15 victory. And you hear that, and you hear the score, and you're just joining us. Well, what's hard-fought about a 19-point win? But we've said it already tonight. Georgetown trailed at the half.
Hey, tip of the hat to Connally. They came out ready to play football tonight. Surprised a lot of people, me included, in that first half. And, boy, they really played hard. They didn't quit. Even after this rain delay, they came out playing hard. Congratulations to those kids, to all the seniors who are playing their final game in high school. It's a tough night for them, but lots of good things to look forward to. And congratulations to this Connally team and their coaching staff and their fans for representing their school so well and putting up a good fight tonight.
No, they really did. They played hard. Connally's going to finish the season 1-9 and 0-6 in conference. Georgetown will finish 7-3 in the regular season, 4-2 here in district play. And now we wait for the action tomorrow night between Cedar Park and Manor, a game that you got nothing to do tomorrow night, Georgetown fans. I'd make your way over to Manor and maybe put on some Manor hats and shirts, getting ready for potentially a win. If Manor wins tomorrow night, Georgetown has a great chance of hosting next week in the playoffs.
Yes. So that would be quite a surprise for all you folks that checked in on Facebook. It's good to see all of you. Thank you for stopping by and checking in on us. But a lot of football left, and playoffs start next week.
Brad, Kelly, we've got Coach Dean down here. Coach, congratulations on finishing district strong. Your thoughts on tonight's game and moving forward to next week?
Well, it took us a while to get going tonight. I thought it was really important. I thought we had a huge third quarter. Came out, challenged the kids at halftime in the locker room. They came back out and performed in the third quarter.
Congratulations, Coach. We'll let you get out of this weather. Good luck next week.
Thank you, guys.
Brad, Kelly, back up to you. I'll see you in the booth here in a minute.
All right, thanks, Dave.
I guess the players were running away from you.
Oh, yes, sir. Coach Dean, they came off the field, 1, 2, 3, playoffs.
We are going to, one more time, just recap the scoring for you tonight. Then we'll get out of here, just kind of do a last-minute thing and try to get out of here so we can let everybody get home. We know it's kind of cold, wet, rainy. I know some folks want to hit DQ before it closes, so let's work on that and get it out of here. Quick scoring recap for you. Georgetown came out with a 7-0 lead. First drive of the game, Jackson Siosin capping it off with an 11-yard touchdown run. 32-yard field goal by Diaz later in the first to make it 10-0. And it looked like Georgetown was going to roll. But in the second, Connally's defense really stepped up, kept forcing Georgetown to punt. And then Connally strikes with a 33-yard touchdown pass from McGrew to Gardner to make it 10-7. Then with 4 seconds to go in the half, Connally strikes again, 38-yard TD pass from McGrew to Barron to take the lead. 2-point conversion was good on a fake field goal, 15-10. Connally had the lead at the half. But Georgetown came out in the third quarter and took control of this football game to their credit. A 7-yard touchdown run from Xavier Torres to cap off the opening drive of the half to take the lead, one they would never relinquish, making it 17-15 with 7:52 to go. A couple of minutes later, a blocked punt by Nate McMillan, at the 5. Ball rolled to the end zone. McMillan covered it. It's 24-15 at that point for Georgetown. Siosin with his second touchdown run of the night later in the third quarter, about 55 seconds left in the third to make it 31-15. Diaz caps the scoring with a field goal in the fourth. Your final score tonight from the field in Pflugerville, Georgetown victorious for the fourth straight week. This time a 34-15 win over the Connally Cougars. And like we said, now we wait for tomorrow, a big game in Manor between the Manor Mustangs and the Cedar Park Timberwolves.
Yeah, make no mistake, folks. Manor is the underdog tomorrow night, but they do have some weapons. Could be a very good football game. Maybe worth going over there and checking that game out. We want to let folks know, Eagle fans, that Friday night, November the 9th at 8 o'clock, is the first home game for your Georgetown Eagles boys basketball team. That game will be against McCallum, and it'll be at Georgetown. So if you can, show up, support the Eagles basketball team as they kick off their season. Should be a great season for those boys. Good luck, Eagles, in your basketball season coming up. Looking forward to that.
One other programming note here on SHN Sports, want to make you aware of 1 p.m. this Saturday at Birkelbach Field up in Georgetown. It's the season finale for Southwestern. They'll host Texas Lutheran, last game of the season. Rob Hipp will have the call on that one up in Georgetown. So if you want to join us on SHN, feel free to join us on the broadcast or head over to Birkelbach and check out the game yourself in person.
Yep, we start the playoffs next week, so we're excited about that. Eagles will have their playoff game next week. Again, our friends at Eastview start their playoff season next week, so good luck to the Patriots in their playoff game. Should be exciting. It's going to be a lot of fun. A lot going on tomorrow. Good luck, Needle and Port Neches Groves tomorrow night, Mid-County Madness. Great rivalry in high school football there. Wish I could be there to join you guys, but scalp them Indians, beat those Bulldogs.
All right, well, that will wrap up the broadcast tonight from the field in Pflugerville. A big thanks to our broadcast crew. Nathan Height doing all kinds of technical work for us. Rob Hipp joining us and doing some technical work and some halftime hosting for us as well to make sure this broadcast. We know we had some issues earlier. Thank you for sticking around with us tonight, working through some of the technical issues that we had. We really do appreciate you guys staying with us tonight on this entire broadcast. Dave England for, my goodness, sticking out the weather elements down there tonight.
Dave, wet and cold.
Wet and cold, and he's going to get a little colder as he goes for some post-game blizzards here in just a second.
One more thing that we're talking about, folks, Georgetown fans, if you can, go out and support Eastview's last home game is tomorrow against Elgin, so if you can make it out there, support the Patriots in their closing before they start their playoff run too. Folks, thanks for checking in with us tonight, and thanks for supporting us. Great call.
Oh, thank you, Kelly. I appreciate it. Enjoyed joining you. Kelly DeVoll doing the colors as always. He'll be here next week for the playoffs. Rob Hipp back on the play-by-play for you. I get to do my one game a year for Georgetown. Still undefeated. Georgetown,
good to hear.
One final time from the field in Pflugerville tonight. The season finale, the regular season finale, rather, goes the way of the Eagles. 34-15 your score. For everybody here at SHN Sports, thanks so much for listening in. Brad Tillery signing off. Have a good night, everybody. Be safe in the rain and stay warm.